Hey everyone, you're listening to the official podcast of 4PlayerNetwork.com. Check us out at that address for everything you need to know about our community, monthly giveaways, and nightly live streams. You can even support us on Patreon at patreon.com/4Player. And last but not least, you can catch the live recordings of these podcasts every single Thursday night on our Twitch channel. We hope to see you there. Enjoy.
Fucking go!
Hey everybody, welcome to 4Player Podcast. This is episode 609. It is August 1st, 2019. Nice. My name is Nick Henderson, and to my right is Brad Simons.
Hello.
Nolan Hedstrom.
Wait, do you always look at the date on the TV every
No,
week?
but today I needed to.
I was about to say, I just realized. I didn't realize it was on there for you to look at.
Yeah, sometimes I have to squint and look real hard, just be like, oh, okay.
Cheater.
Sorry. I mean, sometimes I know the date, just today I have no idea.
How do you not know it's the 1st of August, Nick?
I don't know. I haven't had a whole lot of time to think about it today.
It's the 1st of August.
Christopher Guthridge is here.
What's up? 69 is 6. Oh, 6. Damn it.
There's a hole in between
609, right, and it's got a hole. Oh, God damn it. Just move on.
You were close. You were close.
I see what you were going for. I get it. You're making a 69.
You're like 609, and I was like, nice.
Kind of. Oh my goodness. Anyways, welcome everybody to the show. This is, of course, we're going to talk about video games here in just a bit. But before we do that, Christopher Davis is here too. I feel like I shouldn't be hosting this show. Like,
you should.
Maybe right. Nolan should do this. I feel like Nolan's way better at this.
Nah, I'm good, thank you.
You do bad.
Next time.
Or maybe that's just part of the show now. I just fuck up all the intros. Anyways.
It's like that scene from Iron Man where, what's his face? Terrence Howard turns back and looks at the silver suit and he's like, next time. But then it never happens. That's like me hosting the podcast.
Yeah. Gotcha. Couple things I want to get to before we get to feedback and talking about Fire Emblem and all this jazz.
Who the fuck was that for? I'm sorry. I'm just thinking about that scene.
Crispy's still in a totally different conversation.
Okay.
Couple of things I want to mention tonight, guys. Of course, first and foremost, I always want to mention Discord. If you're listening to the show, if this is your first time listening and you had no idea we have a Discord, we totally have a Discord that you should be a part of. Go to discord.gg/4player and you can make a free account and hang out with all of us, hang out with the community, talk about games and movies. I find out like half the shit that I know about now, like all the movies that I get excited to watch, I find out prominently through our TV channel Discord. Just people find cool shit, they post trailers there, and I'm like, oh shit, that looks cool. I never would have known there's a movie coming out called The Lighthouse, which looks really cool.
I watched 3 movies, Nick.
What? Today?
In theaters since the last time I've been on the podcast.
That's crazy.
Oh, okay. Well, can you hold that thought for just a moment?
Fuck you.
Okay. All right. I also want to mention Patreon. We are going to do something a little different. We are changing our Patreon goals. So instead of focusing the goals on how much money we're making, we're changing it so that it's focused on how many patrons we actually get. So whether you donate $1 or $5 or $10, you're all contributing towards reaching our next goal. The same. That makes sense?
Yes.
And we are starting to get real serious, and we're starting to talk about and make plans for our next Project M, which is something we haven't done in a few years, and we've been wanting to do it for a while. So we're starting to figure that out. But we're not gonna officially do that and announce it until we hit 150 patrons, which is not very far off. So I just want to go ahead and get that out there, because that's something we're definitely planning on doing, hopefully before the end of the year, if we can make it happen. So if you're interested in supporting us at any level, patreon.com. Sorry, I totally blanked there for a second. Patreon.com/4player is where you can find us and support us.
How many more patrons?
I think we need about 30 more patrons.
30 more patrons
30 more
for a
patrons.
project.
About
yeah,
30.
And it doesn't matter if they're $1?
No, $1's fine. $1 lets you ask questions on the podcast. We're going to answer some questions in the second segment of the show. If you're a $3 tier or higher, you can be a part of the Revival Club and play some old games with us and talk about it in our exclusive Discord channels. If you do it at the $10 level, we send you a free mug. It's not a free mug. You're paying us, but we're going to give you a 4-player mug, that kind of stuff.
It's a pretty cool mug.
It's pretty cool. I actually drink out of my mug every single day.
Yes.
It's a great mug.
Yes.
But anyways, I just wanted to get that out there. So if you're interested in supporting us and also helping us work towards our next goal, we're going to buy new couches in here because we're literally falling through the bottoms of these couches as we're speaking right now, and getting some new headphones for us to help us improve the audio and kind of keep it level while we're recording. Those are both things that we want to do, and if you support us, that helps us get closer to making those purchases. And of course, like I said, Project M, something we definitely want to do again very soon, so patreon.com/4Player where you can find out more about that. And all right, now Brad,
What?
you saw 3 movies.
Yeah.
What'd you see?
What'd you see?
I saw Lion King.
So did I went and
was
saw it by
bad.
myself.
It was bad. I saw.
That was my free birthday ticket.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's probably like the worst of all the live action ones.
It
I've
is the
seen.
most. I feel like it is the most
Wow.
unnecessary.
Yeah.
That's pretty bad.
I mean,
I
it's
mean,
like
they're
they've
all
all been.
kind of unnecessary, but this is the one
what is going
that
on,
definitely
Jones?
had
Hey,
the least amount of
Down. Nick.
Down,
Nick.
I mean,
period.
I will say this. I thought it was fine, but like it was also like
Yeah.
a frame for frame remake of the original, practically. So
But
it's
not
kinda
as
like,
good.
Not nearly.
Like
as
little
good.
details, like in the original Lion King, it's like when Simba is fighting Scar, you can always be like, oh, I can tell which one's which because Scar's the darker one.
Isn't it
Yeah.
weird?
It's just two
Understatement.
fucking lions.
Isn't
fighting, I
it
have
weird
no
that
idea.
they're so realistic that like their faces can't emote?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they can't emote, and like honestly, the CG at times looks a little weird, anyways.
Yeah.
And it doesn't even like the voice acting and stuff's not even that good. Sometimes it sounds like the voices aren't even coming from the line. I was just kind of unhappy with it overall.
Does it
I
look like
think-
someone
and I-
recorded some real lions and just voiced
I will
over
say
it?
this: I think
no,
the
it's
two
just-
standouts in that movie, Seth Rogen as Pumbaa is great, and I forgot John Oliver's in this, but when he shows up as Zazu, I was like,
Zazu.
I thought
Eric
the new Zaz-
Andre's in it.
I thought
He's-
the new Zazu was kind of crap
Kinda
compared to
Ooh.
Rowan Atkinson, but
I mean, most of them are probably crap
And-
compared to
and-
their originals. But
and
hey,
Pumbaa was okay. Timon
Yeah,
was
bring
no
back
good.
Jonathan Taylor Thomas.
Timon was-
JTT.
And they
forgot.
fucked up Rafiki. You know what? Fuck that movie. I
He
also
doesn't
saw.
even talk. I mean,
No,
I agree. I'm
Does
agreeing
he-
with you.
hold on,
Rafiki
hold
was
on.
a presence in that
Hold
first
on.
movie.
I agree
Does
with
he
you.
slap his red butt?
He had some great moments in that original. Anyways,
Pointless movie.
I saw Crawl,
Oh, how was that?
which is pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I liked it. It was like
It's a creature feature, right? It's like a big
yeah,
crocodile movie, right?
they don't really make movies like that anymore.
It's like Lake Placid, but better.
What? I love Lake Placid.
But I mean,
So-
what I'm saying is it better than that.
So the thing is, there used to be a time like when Lake Placid stuff like that was coming out, where those types of movies were more common. Like even as far as like the '90s, like fucking Deep Blue Sea and shit like that, right?
yeah.
But they don't really make those kind of movies anymore.
The Meg
or,
just came out.
Or if they do,
I wanted to watch that.
Well,
It's,
so
it's
yeah,
not.
that-
It's not horrible.
That's
it's
one of them.
okay.
That's the thing. I miss those kinds of movies,
Yeah.
and I feel like when you do get them these days, it might be like low budget trash on
Yeah.
like Sci-Fi Channel or whatever. So it's rare to get one that actually looks pretty cool.
Well, I watched the Meg
And
on
Crawl.
a plane, so I don't know. It probably wasn't the best viewing experience, but I enjoyed it enough.
yeah,
It's on,
So
it's on
Crawl
Hulu.
was
I wanna
pretty
watch.
good.
it was pretty good. I mean, Barry Pepper's in. He's such a bad actor. Like
Who's
at
that?
least now,
Who's that?
Barry Pepper. He's an actor.
Well, I
You don't
know, but I was like, I
sure?
was hoping you could be like,
Is
that
he,
guy from
is he
this.
from VeggieTales?
25th Hour. He's been in a lot
Barry
of stuff.
Pepper?
Yeah,
Somebody Google that.
y'all
Pretty
definitely
sure that's
know
a
who that-
VeggieTales
What's the third
character.
movie?
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Oh, I'm seeing. Okay,
Ooh,
so
did you like it?
I liked it.
I wanna
so
see it
I'm
really
doing a
bad.
double feature on Saturday, guys.
I heard it goes all crazy in the third act.
Robin and I are going double feature
Yeah.
on Saturday. We're doing
Yeah.
back to back.
You definitely are
Oh,
looking up
Barry
Wikipedia,
Pepper, of
going
course.
like skimming through Wikipedia for facts.
He's in a lot of
Saving
shit.
Private Ryan.
Yeah, he's in Saving Private Ryan.
Yeah, he's the sniper guy.
He's also in The Green Mile.
We're doing.
Oh yeah, he's one of the
God
guards.
damn it, guys. We're doing a double feature on Saturday, back to back.
Uh-huh.
Hobbs and Shaw. Once upon a time.
That's not getting horrible reviews.
I
Hobbs
know,
and Shaw.
but like,
Wow.
believe it or not, Hobbs and Shaw, not my idea. Robin really wants to see it.
Oh, I'm totally shocked by that.
because it looks ridiculous, like utterly, like so ridiculous that it can't help but be
Dude,
charming.
just the part in the trailer where they go to his fucking like island and all of a sudden they're like
That's the
just,
part that made her want to see it. She's like,
Yeah.
that looks cool.
they're just all tribaled up and we're gonna take down these guys with guns with our fucking sticks.
You know what? I'm expecting that to be a fun time.
Well, I hope so.
But anyways, any other movies you want to mention right out of the gate?
I haven't seen anything lately.
I watch Hot Fuzz for like the 9 billionth
Dude, that
time.
movie's so fucking good.
That movie's the best.
Yarp.
That movie's the best.
I
That's so
watched
good.
that. Okay, you know what? Let's
Hold,
move
Nick,
No.
I will say, hold on.
You gotta watch it
How
like
many
5
times
times.
have you watched it?
on. Once. I've only
Okay.
seen
You gotta watch it like
then
5
I
times.
guarantee you,
It's so
you
dense.
won't like it. You have to see it at least 2 or 3 times. Because the
it's
problem
so
is, like
dense.
Chrissy said, it is so fucking dense that you cannot catch even like a tenth of the movie on one viewing.
Like I watch it because it's leaving Netflix, which is
Yeah.
sad, but Fuck,
Prince
that
of the
movie's
Universe
so
wants
good.
me to tell everybody about this Bourne TV show they're making, but I'm not gonna do.
Why not?
Maybe I will. They're making a show called Treadstone, and it's on USA. I don't have USA. I don't know what I'm gonna do.
USA characters welcome.
But Nick, you live in the
Yes.
USA.
USA. I don't even. I'm pretty sure.
How
USA
can anyone live in the USA and not
doesn't
have
care if you
USA? I
pirate
thought that
their
was an
shows.
inalienable right.
Well, hopefully this will fill the void of Burn Notice.
Oh,
Hey, what's wrong with Burn Notice?
No, I'm saying Burn Notice is gone. That's
I know.
bad.
I know.
I love Burn Notice.
That was a good show. All right, let's move on. We got games to talk about tonight. Like I said, we're going to talk about Fire Emblem Three Houses. So why don't we jump into that? That's the newest thing, right?
New S. It's the. It's the
Damn it! Every
banner.
week, every
Butters,
single week.
Butters, we're gonna need you to host the show, please.
All right.
It's the
All right. Feedback from our last episode. Again, last week we had a nice little show with me, Nolan, and Krispy. We did it online. It was fun. We talked about some stuff. Hi, Butters. Can I help you? Okay.
He's
Butters.
trying to take your mic. He's like, I'll do it. I'll do it now.
All right.
Gerdo.
Reminder: after the show tonight, after you've listened and you've enjoyed and you've digested all the conversations that we've had, if you have anything you want to say or contribute, you can head over to 4playernetwork.com, find the post for this episode, and leave a comment there. And at the beginning of the next episode, we'll read them back and respond to them. So from last week, we have Drew327 says, I've read all the Witcher books twice, played all the games a bunch, and I thought the Netflix trailer looked pretty exciting.
Brad's here.
I've started reading The Last Wish.
He left this feedback because he knew Brad was going to be
I mean,
here.
just because you
Bait.
read all that and experienced, that doesn't mean you have good taste.
Oh my god.
Shots fired.
What a dick.
I mean, it is a joke, but also true.
He's like, patronage canceled.
I mean, you're not. That is actually a fact, but like,
Yeah,
that's
it's
not
a fact.
implying that you have bad taste.
yeah, no.
Even though
No,
it sounds like Brad said
I'm
it.
saying just because you read the books doesn't mean, you know,
Okay, so I am.
you're looking for the same things that maybe I am in a show like that. Maybe
All right,
you-
Brad, you're finally here. What are you looking
Maybe
for
you
in
like
the
that
Witcher
really
TV
like
show?
you know,
What did you
Sci-Fi
hate
Channel
about it?
cheap, like lighting for like fantasy settings. I think it looks bad, but like that's fine. That's fine if it has a cheap look, right? But like my question for
I don't
y'all
think any
is
part of that looked cheap.
okay, fine.
They got like 69 right here in front of us. Or something.
What do you?
Fight.
What does a show like
you
this
never
have
seen
to
Fight
do to be successful for you guys?
Tell an interesting story
Okay.
set in that universe.
Okay,
Compelling character drama.
I said it
Okay.
on the show last
No,
week.
I agree with you, but like I think that like good writing, good acting, good character drama. That's what it has to have for like a show that's probably not going to look great when he's fighting a Kikamore, you know, in the swamp, right?
Sure.
Like maybe you thought it looked okay coming out of the swamp. I disagree, but when he's actually fighting that fucking thing, you know, not even fucking Game of Thrones
Brad,
could
it's-
afford to do
it's-
a fight without a snowstorm.
It's all about
Versus CG
But that's what I'm
creature.
saying. Why make it CG?
Well,
I mean, that thing kind of.
they are,
Well,
though.
Well, so the big what's it called? Not the spider thing. What is that?
Kikamore, I think. I think that's what it was.
I
Yeah.
thought when anyway.
I don't know.
When he's fighting, yes, that one obviously has to be CG. But I mean, you can always do shit where you have like close-up angles of like a fucking arm coming in swiping at him, and you don't have to make it CG. You can make it a fucking real thing.
But like, I think at the end of the day, a Netflix show like that stuff is probably not going to be amazing, just because we know it has a realistic budget, right? Like at best, maybe there's like good sword choreography when he's fighting like other humans and stuff, right? But the point is like their choice for like lead actor is so important to what this is, because what's his face?
Henry Cavill.
Henry Cavill is a certain type of actor. He's like a very physical presence, you know.
Is he?
Yeah, he's pretty. He's a pretty physical presence. I'd
He's
say.
fit, but is he like a physical presence?
I mean,
I think he is. But
Does
I
he
mean, I'll be
command the
honest.
screen when he's on it? Because I don't think he does.
did you watch Mission Impossible Fallout? 'Cause
that's
I feel
No,
like-
I didn't.
I
but-
feel like
just concede the
pretty
point
much
for the
did
sake
that.
of fucking
sure,
argument.
for the sake of argument,
Okay.
you're right.
What I'm saying
sure.
is, what he adds to a movie is the kind of stuff that's probably not going to be what this movie's successful at. That would be like the fights, right? I
But
think
like, I feel like you should like until we actually see some.
Have you
acting from
seen
him,
The
let's
Man
give him
from
the benefit
U.N.C.L.E.?
of the doubt.
everyone keeps saying that. I heard that's okay. Should I watch it?
It's a pretty good movie. The Man
Now,
from U.N.C.L.E.
is Henry Cavill the reason that movie's pretty good?
That's Henry Cavill, right? I'm
Yes.
not crazy.
Yeah.
Henry
Yes, it's
Cavill
Henry
and
Cavill.
He is one of the
sure.
actors in that movie.
For sure. I mean, I know it came out and
So-
like nobody
so, like-
talked
so,
about
like,
it.
What is
but-
his name?
don't know.
Army
I was
Hammer.
asking, like, what are some other shows that are like really good, despite being a little weak in terms of like, you know, CG budget, realistic, right? People name like Supernatural or Buffy or Firefly, stuff like that, right?
Yes.
Sure.
But like those are shows that have like really good characters, dialogue, you know, fun storylines, right?
Okay.
Like that is the kind of thing that I don't believe that a Henry Cavill led Witcher show based on.
But he doesn't write it.
No. Based on Henry Cavill's character choice and what I've else seen in that trailer, that doesn't look like what the strengths of this show are.
Okay, that's totally fair. Let's revisit this conversation
Also,
though, when
he
we've
doesn't
seen more
seem
of it.
like he has a specific line in that trailer, which is so not what Geralt would have said.
What did he say? Tell me, Brad.
So I
didn't
don't know.
It's all about
Some
money
fucking-
for you. That's all it needs to be.
Yeah, he's like, and he says it almost like sensually. It's all it needs to be. You know, like he's fucking Fabio or some shit. Geralt would not have said that. It would have been like a much more like gruff, like dismissive response. Maybe he probably wouldn't have even answered that.
I feel like that is a pretty dismissive response.
No, it was like sexy. It's
Okay,
all that needs
okay.
to be.
I did
He was
not
also-
get that
so
vibe
hold
from
on.
the
Me
trailer,
and the
but okay.
monster.
He was
Apparently-
also shirtless, and I'm pretty sure
apparently
had
Henry
just finished
Cavill
coitus. Okay.
is- is Brad's,
it
like-
is not.
What is his hall pass or something?
It's all it needs to be. That is so not a Geralt.
You are
response
writing this
from the
show off
books
for one
or
line like that?
But I mean, that's the only thing he says in the trailer.
Okay.
And that's kind of scary.
Okay, I'm glad we let
I'm
you
glad we're judging this book by its cover.
Well, I mean, what should we just not talk about?
No,
it?
can I
I'm
just-
saying I
Man.
saw it looks like shit.
And I'm saying I saw it and I think it looks pretty good.
I think
but
they
apparently,
over-sexualize Geralt.
Watch that
He
trailer
is
a few
too
more
sexy.
times.
They need to tone it down.
No. Well, I mean, Geralt in the books is not really like a super attractive man, but you know that's not the point.
Henry
I just-
Cavill is way too attractive for Brad to believe he's Geralt.
Can I just say that I
We
started
need to get like Kevin James up in here.
I started
Kevin
reading the
James
book.
Geralt.
Watch
would be
that
so
trailer
much-
again.
I started reading the book. I've
A
watched that
book?
trailer like 6 times.
Yeah,
I'm very excited for it. I started reading the book. I'm like almost 100 pages into the book. Book's pretty good.
a book, right? The last
The
Wish.
last book, yeah, I can only read one at a time.
Well, I mean, the thing is, if you were to actually recommend someone
could.
read the books for this, you might even say start with A Time of Contempt or A Time of Contempt. Because-
I can't do that. I have to read things in order, man.
No. But like, what you're reading is almost like a collection. Well, no, they do introduce you.
They do.
But like the
Brad.
actual storyline of The Witcher.
I've read
starts with.
them all.
I know.
I started with The Last Wish. I still love the books. They're all fucking great.
I know, but some people will read like A Last Wish to like get a taste of what the books are. But there is like a central storyline that a series of like 5 books follow.
Correct.
That the other books aren't really like that. They're
Correct.
like more like short stories.
Yes.
And you're reading that short story one, which is fine. I mean that's a great place to start. But do understand that it does get into this main storyline that's kind of all about Ciri, and that's what it looks like the show's going to focus on. And you know, like just don't you know people. I'm just reacting based on what I saw. People are like, oh, you know, it could be great. You just got to fucking wait. But we got to talk about something, right?
True.
Like cheap forest lighting.
Okay.
All right.
Watch the trailer.
But I mean, like, I'm also the kind of guy. I'm the guy over here who thought Game of Thrones looked fine. Like, you know what I mean?
Game of Thrones does look fine.
Everyone says Game of Thrones looked like shit. Like, I think Game of Thrones looked.
I think
great
everyone
at
said
times.
the
It looked
acting
great
and
compared
writing
to
was
this.
shit.
But I'm saying I thought.
I mean,
this
tell
looked
me you
fine,
see
too.
a difference between Game of Thrones and this.
I mean, the budget's maybe a little bit bigger, but like obviously.
I think we should move on from this
All right,
conversation.
you're right. Feedback next.
Wait, who was
just
that
replace-
feedback
That
from?
was from Drew
She plays
327.
Peter
Fuck
Dinklage
you, Drew
with Henry
327. Look
Cavill
what you did to
and
us.
tell me that that's a good show.
Wait, what?
Just replace Peter Dinklage with Henry Cavill and tell me that's a good show.
I mean, Peter Dinklage's Geralt will be pretty good.
No, I'm talking about the other way around. Fuck you.
Oh my.
Peter
goodness.
Dinklage probably would be a much better Geralt, like in terms of like his
Characterization?
acting style.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. Sure.
All right, Slop
Like
Dog.
absolutely.
Slop Dog says, to comment on what Nick said about looking up a guide to get through a certain section in Outer Wilds, I've been there before with other games, and for the majority of the instances I've relented and looked up a game guide. I've regretted it, whether it should have been obvious what I was supposed to do or to progress. Oh my god, sorry, this is kind of a run-on sentence. I've
He said you
regretted
played it wrong.
whether it should have been obvious what I was supposed to do or to progress called for just a little bit of unilateral thinking. I'd rather be frustrated than disappointed at feeling like I cheated myself out of the experience for figuring it out. That said, No reason to fault anyone when using a guide for any of the Soulsborne games, especially with certain items or triggered events. That shit takes some clairvoyance or the wiki to uncover. I stand by what I said last week about Outer Wilds. I looked a couple things up. Not a lot, just like 2 or 3 key things where I was kind of just like missing something. And once I figured out what it was, I felt disappointed because I was like, it would have been fucking amazing to like piece that together myself. But I also, in my heart of hearts, knew that was never going to happen. Yeah. I was never going to see what they wanted me to see.
I mean, I do feel like as I've gotten a little bit older and I have less of time,
yes,
I will often find myself spending only ever so long trying to figure something out.
That's a good point.
I'm like, you know what? I could probably spend another 2 hours and I'll get it. But I don't have the time to do that.
Bitch, we don't have time for this. We got games to play, like other games.
That's 100% what's going on.
Honestly,
probably real life things.
I can see it coming from both directions because Dark Souls is one of my favorite series ever, and I wouldn't have gotten into it if it wasn't for Let's Play videos. Like, I tried getting into that game like 3 times and bounced within the first couple hours, and then I finally sat down and like watched a Let's Play to get through like the first couple bosses, and that's what got me through, and that's what propelled me into loving that game.
That is a series where anything that kind of helps you get past that initial, pushback is good.
On the other side of that coin, I watched that video that Brad did of The Witness with that, thing.
Yes.
Didn't know that was in the game before watching that. Saw that, and for some reason I never...
in the video not to watch
it. I know. But I'm not saying it's Brad's fault. I'm just saying I watched it, and from that point on, it was kind of difficult for me to connect with that game. So,
yeah.
If anyone doesn't know what we're talking about, good. Don't look into it.
I mean,
play The Witness.
The thing is, I adore The Witness, and the thing that you saw, obviously, I saw too.
What?
Never mind.
I get what you're saying.
No, I mean, like, you had that moment of, like, I just
figured but I had it 30 seconds into the game.
No, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Like, you told me what it was because I watched the video and I was like, oh, that's cool.
I mean, I think what Krispy's saying is if he had the same experience 30 seconds...
If I'd had that, like, beautiful mind moment of, like, seeing the grand pattern of the universe around me, then maybe I would have been compelled to, like, keep going with that game.
Yeah.
Well, I mean...
It's just a matter of how he discovered it, which was
ultimately
through
that thing was
game
just
itself.
A collectible. And the other game is like super compelling.
Hey Nolan, can you turn Krispy down just a little bit? He says he's peeking a little bit.
Okay.
The in-environment stuff are just collectibles.
So anyways, thank you guys so much for your comments from last week. Like I said, if you want to contribute anything to our discussions we're about to have right now, go to 4playernetwork.com, leave us a comment on the post for this episode. Brad and whoever else. Is anybody else playing Fire Emblem?
Not yet.
I started it.
All right. Well,
how much have you played Krispy?
I mean... In the grand scheme of Fire Emblem, I haven't.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, have you chosen
I got through the mock battle. After you choose your house.
After you choose your house. Okay.
Yeah. So the 3-way battle between the houses.
I mean, it's not like I've done that many battles despite having played, 12, 15 hours. 12.
Sure.
Probably around 12
I
hours.
still only have like one area of the monastery available to me, and like I can only do like I can't do lectures or anything yet.
Okay. Okay.
I've watched like 3 video reviews for this game, and I've seen people in our Discord talking about it. I've seen you tweeting about it.
Okay.
And I'm so on the fence, I don't know what to do.
Well, maybe if once we talk about it here, you'll be more interested, or you'll know you don't want to play it. I offered 2 pieces of footage for Chris Davis, and that's because there are 2 aspects of this game that are very different from each other, even though they're obviously like interconnected in terms of the way one influences the other. But since he chose to show this one first, which I didn't prompt him, he just chose it, I guess we'll talk about this aspect of it first. First thing you need to know is that this new Fire Emblem is kind of, a lot of people have been comparing it to Harry Potter because the story has you choosing to become a professor.
If it was Harry Potter, you wouldn't get to choose. It would be chosen for you.
Okay, but the thing is, you're not actually a student.
You're not a student.
You're a professor, and you're choosing which class you want to teach.
All right.
One of these 3 houses.
I stand corrected.
These 3 houses or these 3 classes of nobles.
If this was Harry Potter, your only choice would be defensive against the dark arts.
Yeah. So instead of a big Harry Potter castle, you're at a giant, enormous monastery because I guess that's where the Officers' Academy is. I guess it's.
I really do wonder why it's called a monastery.
Because run by the holy knights that rule the land. I don't know.
There you go. Problem solved.
I guess.
Blah blah blah.
But yeah,
church,
all these
blah.
noble families send their kids to this officers' academy. So most of the classes are comprised of these nobles. One house is
From 3 different countries.
well, sort of, yeah, from 3 different countries or 2 countries in an alliance. I mean, one of them is the Empire, and literally they're kind of like class presidents is sort of next in line to become the next emperor. One of them is next in line to become like the next king of like this other country. So their royalty as well, and then the other one is sort of an alliance of nobles that have sort of broken apart from the empire as well. And but again, they're all fucking nobles, so everyone's hoity-toity. There's a couple of commoners here and there. So you think at first like,
Commoners.
all these people suck, right? They're actually like their class is like commoner at the beginning.
Some of them are nobles, some
and
are
commoner.
Dude, and the dormitories are split up. Like the commoners sleep on the first floor and the nobles sleep on the second floor. Yeah, it's kind of fucked up.
I don't think actually.
You want to hear a really fucked up one? There's a girl who is the granddaughter of the king of like the island that she comes from, but because it's a vassal of one of the larger states, she's considered a commoner. Like, that's fucked up.
Everyone spits on
Well, as the professor of the class of this house that you choose very early on in the game, you spend a lot of time between battles, like being a professor and
grading papers.
yeah, exploring this monastery, speaking to all the students, establishing these relationships, which are an evolution of the supports from that you've seen in Fire Emblem games for the longest time. And it's basically all those little ideas that they've been dabbling with, sort of evolved into kind of a cohesive setting and set of mechanics that I don't know finally works. Like Fire Emblem Fates, which was I guess the last mainline game, had a lot of the these little mechanics, but they were sort of abstracted out a little differently. I mean, you had this home base, but the way it was put together, it was just kind of a nuisance doing all that stuff. Now it's finally cool. Like the setting's exciting. Being a teacher, you actually instruct your students on like oh, you should study this, and you spend a lot like your time on Sundays like having lunches with them or training with them to boost their motivation, because come Monday, that's when you're actually like in class teaching them. And if you've filled up their motivation bar more, they have more chances to like study, right? To more lessons that they can complete. And you're actually telling them, oh, you need to focus on swords or flying.
So you're cherry picking the students that will be successful and fuck the other ones.
Well, no, you're focusing on all the students
that
in your class, but there is a mechanic to where you can kind of steal students from the other classes, which means all the ladies, because I guess that's just how I play Fire Emblem. Recruiting them is kind of like
just Krispy like I don't know how to take that.
Recruiting the
professor
other
trying to
students,
get all the girls into his class.
so like
weird.
Here I am right here like teaching the students, and like there's some like really cool, again in like a setting appropriate, like the way they tie the mechanics into the setting are really cool. Like you've always been able to kind of guide maybe how a class levels up, choose what class they are, right? But here they might have things that they're like more apt at, right? So they might learn faster if you're teaching them. But you'll see these little stars that pop up near some of the skills that are like hidden potentials. Mm-hmm. That isn't something that they typically are good at, but you can kind of push them towards it. Like, no, like, trust me, like, focus on this for a little bit. I see, like, this hidden potential in you, and if you keep leveling that up, you might unlock, like, a special skill in a weapon that you wouldn't even, like, typically associate with that character.
Like crib sheets or something?
Not crib sheets, just sort of, like, it's like, like, maybe Krispy's, like, doing really bad in math, but that if he just applied himself a little more, he'd become a great mathematician or something.
If you just hit him every once in a while.
Yeah.
That's fucked up.
So,
oh my god.
So, I mean, it's these evolution of these mechanics that they've always been dabbling with, especially like the support system. It's borderline Persona-esque now, in the way that stuff's kind of fleshed out. It's very Suikoden, in fact, with the way you kind of like steal other students, because you're like, hey, come join my class. They're like, oh, well, maybe if you were a little bit stronger or a little bit better at a bow or a little bit,
They don't have to go to like the administration's office and then like put in a request to like that? You just like come to my class.
I don't know.
Oh yeah, there's a whole paperwork mini game.
But anyways, there's a ton of stuff to do in this monastery. You can go fishing. You can like attend seminars. You can actually take lessons from the other professors to level up your own skills, even though you're a professor. There's so much to do. It's very fleshed out. It's very addictive. Like you start to really care about these students. You start to and you level up as a teacher as well. And the higher the level as a professor you get, the more things you can do on any given like day. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So it doesn't seem like it has that like really annoying aspect of Persona, which is you can only do so much.
I mean, on the surface, it's similar to that, but you're not actually doing so much in any given day. Like everything's kind of broken up into months. When every Sunday is when you can kind of explore the monastery or do extra battles. But like every Monday is when you're teaching the kids.
Your free day, you have a certain number of points, and doing things
uses
those points. So you got to level up your professor level by again like interacting with the students or like taking part in other activities,
so you level them
so
up
that
and
you
get
have more points so you can do more in a day. So and then certain days will have like, hey, if you go fishing today, you'll get better results. So like they kind of like plan it out.
That sounds like proper motivation to do these things.
So if all the stuff you do in the monastery is like between battles is sort of an evolution of the stuff they were dabbling in Fates with like the base building stuff. The last actual Fire Emblem game, even if it wasn't a mainline game, was Shadows of Valentia, Fire Emblem Echoes.
Yeah.
And this game is also sort of an evolution of the stuff that game was doing in terms of presentation. Like this game, where that was the game where you were going into dungeons kind of with a 3D camera running around.
Yeah.
Now, like the monastery is all like that. You're kind of running around in full 3D. You're running up. You're talking to people. The entire game is fully voice acted. All your support.
And it's good voice acting.
It's wonderful.
Oh, and they got this thing where you can auto advance all the text, so you don't have to keep hitting.
It's auto advance.
It's so good.
It's fun. It's the first time that Fire Emblem has felt like big budget.
I was able to do laundry while going through story content. It was wonderful.
Oh, because you could just listen to it. Oh, that's fucking cool.
Exactly. It's the first time that Fire Emblem has felt kind of bigger budget in terms of presentation.
I'm gonna be honest. Like the thing that is making me want to play this is specifically this aspect.
And that's fucking fine because it is a very large aspect of this game. Like you spend just as much time, if not more time, outside of battle than you do in battle in this game. And that's okay because the stuff is good, finally, for the first time in the series. Or finally fleshed out enough, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, because I would love to play it. Like, I'm just worried because, like, I have already bounced off of Fire Emblem twice.
So, I mean, like, okay.
But not because I didn't enjoy it, but mostly because, like, I think the thing is, like, most of the bulk of the other games is the other side of this, which you're about to talk about in a second, right? Which is a lot of the battle stuff, which is great, which is fine, but like that stuff
has changed significantly as well.
It's like 90% of the game. I feel like this is kind of what it was missing. This is like that like
this is absolutely the one that you would play, okay. And I think it's the one that a lot of people would play. It has a lot going on.
How does it run on the Switch? I mean, it's only on the Switch.
It runs fine.
It's good. Okay.
It runs fine. It has a lot going on, so it could be a lot to take in at first, but because of that. School aspect.
Yeah.
Like it's good. Like that stuff is really good and good enough to like even if you're a little apprehensive about the battle system, but like getting to battles, and that is something I want to talk about. I play a lot of tactics game, and I have noticed a lot of like smart changes, honestly, to the battle system in this game. Chris Davis.
Kato walked up right as you said that.
Was that a cue?
Was that a cue, Kato? All right.
So here's a little bit of combat footage that I recorded. I'm not even really paying attention, which is not good because I should be paying attention because I'm playing on hard and I'm playing on classic. Classic difficulty means you have permadeath, right? Hard is hard. And
so I can play on classic but also play on normal?
Yeah.
Yes, or you can play on casual, which means there's no permadeath.
I mean, I like the permadeath
and hard. Thing now. So like hard is not just harder, but you can't just grind out optional story battles on Sundays or Saturdays or whatever like you can on normal. On normal you can keep repeating those. On hard you can't. And I think the reason that they do that is they don't want you to have the ability to grind. One of the things that Fire Emblem has always done, because remember this series you should just go from battle to battle to battle to battle. Everything happened on the battle.
Yeah.
Managing the experience points and the level ups of your teammates was that sort of micromanaging like the whole meta game, right? Making sure that your low level unit gets the final hit in, even though he doesn't do that much damage, so he gets the huge boost of experience and he gets leveling up. Yeah. You know, that's Fire Emblem, and that's still here, right? Yeah. But on normal, since you can kind of grind it out in these optional battles, that's sort of doesn't have as much of a point. But on hard, it obviously does, because I only have so many opportunities in battle to actually level up these certain characters. So some of the smart changes that they've made, which I think would make a lot of newcomers more comfortable, and I think it's the biggest change, even though it's not like a glaring difference, is that they have how should I say this? You can see who an enemy is going to attack as you're moving your unit around.
Okay.
So like when you select your unit and I'm moving him around the battlefield, you'll see these red lines, and that's showing that when the enemy goes, they're going to attack that unit. And you'll even see, like, as I move, like, maybe in front of another unit, the line might shift from a unit they were going to attack now to you.
Sure.
Or like, if I move a little bit away, you know...
That seems smart.
It seems really smart, because now you have way more information than you ever had before. Because before in a Fire Emblem game, you could always see, like, the full range, right? If you see those purple squares, that is a button I have toggled that shows everything that the enemy could hit on a given turn. Which means if I'm not in that purple area, no enemy can hit me at all. They most of them won't even move.
But you have to turn that on.
Well, it's just a toggle with the shoulder button. So before, what you would do is you would take like your general, like your heavily armored unit, and you would place them in that attack range of the enemy, wait for the enemies to swarm that guy, do so little damage to him, and then have all your other guys swarm them, right? Because he was the tank.
Yeah.
And it led to like this kind of inching across the battlefield, like flow to a Fire Emblem battle. But now, because you can see these lines of intent, these well, that's what I've been calling them. You can see who the enemies are going to attack. You can be a little more aggressive with kind of moving into enemy territory, because you can see when one dude's drawing aggro for whatever reason, maybe because he has a lower defense, then you have complete freedom to move other units where you want to in enemy territory. Does that make sense?
No,
you couldn't really do that in previous Fire Emblem games, because it was kind of a roll of the dice. You didn't know who they were going to attack. So, you know, it makes... Giving that player more information makes the flow of battle, I think, feel a lot better compared to how it did in the past.
Damn,
I really do appreciate that.
What was that?
Battalion.
So battalions are sort of a new mechanic. You can equip your units with battalions that kind of work as like special attacks in battle.
It just summons a bunch of dudes?
It summons in a bunch of dudes, which usually give like some sort of effect that, like, you know, they can be straight up healing, they can be buffs, they can be attacks, but but one of the things that they'll do is like they'll occasionally make I think the enemy like not be able to move the following turn. But like all of this variation with the battalions, and also the fact that weapons now have weapon skills. Now these are like various like abilities that are tied to a weapon that are typically more powerful or have an extra effect, like does more damage against mounted units or whatever, but it takes away more durability from the weapon. So it's kind of a trade-off. Like I could do this more powerful attack, but my weapon's going to degrade faster, and if it breaks in battle, I'm going to be screwed, or I might have to spend more money between battle to buy more weapons.
Does the quality level or the degradation of weapons last between battles, or is it just that battle?
It's between battles, so you have to take the whole economy.
That's what I'm saying.
Account.
So you're taking like a weapon. It will only live for so long if you use those.
But it leads to more interesting choices, because you have to weigh like the cost benefit of breaking that weapon. Do I have the money to repair it or buy a new one? But all that leads to interesting choices, because now you have the battalions, now you have the weapon skills, and now you of course have the different types of weapons. In fact, all classes can equip all weapons now. You have a lot of options for variation, which is very important when you're thinking when you're looking when it's factoring into like that Fire Emblem micro that I've been talking about, right? Now I have like 5 different ways of attacking this enemy as opposed to just one, which means I can game the system to make that lower level enemy kind of, or to make the enemy's hit points be right at where I want it to be for the low level unit to sweep in and get the kill.
Gotcha.
So it's more variation, more options leads to more interesting choices. As opposed to the partner system, which is gone, which I think was more just tweaking like numbers. This is more interesting way to add variation than who's partnered with who, honestly.
Yes.
I'm glad the partner system is gone.
All right. I was just going to say, This
Yes.
all sounds great. I'm waiting for the big butt.
Couple of new things. Couple more new things. And I just want to get this out of the way. The way the magic system is handled in this game is a lot different. Before, it was all tied to like staves, right? You get really powerful magic, but it only would have 3 charges, and that would be like for the whole game. And you might get another one of those, but basically, what that would leave is you would hoard more powerful spells for like bosses or for like in game, right?
Yeah.
But now everything has a certain amount of charges per battle, and they'll refresh at the end of battle. So now you're not afraid to use the more powerful magic. And
Wait, there used to be magic you could only use a certain number of times in the whole game?
correct, but magic was very powerful. Magic is still powerful, but you have to level up your magic skill to get more uses, a la Suikoden.
Gotcha.
And so it makes magic way more like versatile because you're using all the different types way more often than you would in previous Fire Emblem games. Like, I have a staff that lets me heal from far away, but it only has 3 charges. So I still have to like choose, okay, when am I going to use this in a battle? But I don't have to worry about saving it, for the end of the game. One last big mechanic I want to mention, which is big again for this series, for getting into the series, for making this your starting point, is there's like a rewind mechanic. Like 3 times per battle, you can rewind and take back a turn, take back your whole turn, take back a single move, right? Which is really good because a lot of reason that people find Fire Emblem intimidating is because not only is there permadeath, but like you fly a Pegasus Knight, which is a flying unit, into the range of an archer, like they're fucking dead. Pretty much no matter what. If an enemy archer gets in range of like a flying unit, they're fucking dead.
Yeah.
Right? Because that's just how punishing Fire Emblem is. But before, even if you're on Classic, that means that unit's dead, you're restarting the battle, or that unit's gone forever. Or you're restarting.
But now you can...
But now you can rewind. So you can play on Classic difficulty, which still means the stakes are high, but you have sort of a few chances to fuck up.
Yeah.
Which is what would happen in Fire Emblem. I'd always play these games on Classic difficulty, and I'd be like really adept at them, right? But everyone makes mistakes. They're just punished so hard in Fire Emblem. Gotcha. Now you don't have to worry about that as much.
So this is a bit more accessible.
It's more accessible, even if you want to play on like the Classic difficulty or the harder difficulty.
Which I definitely do.
Which I think you do and you should, because you still want those high stakes.
Just to clarify here, so I'm not thinking of this wrong. There are 2...
I would argue against that.
Okay.
I would argue against playing on permadeath, because I don't think you do like playing on permadeath.
Well, no, here's the thing.
I think you like the idea of permadeath.
Yes.
The idea of it is cool, but like the only time that's really going to manifest in the game in any meaningful way is if you let a character die, which you're not going to do. You're going to replay the battle. Well, you're doing is just making yourself.
But I would argue that the sense of stakes.
Sure, okay.
Like
if you use your
I would
rewind,
give myself 3 fuck ups, but if I fuck up more than 3 times and it costs me a character,
that's what I'm saying.
All you're
doing is just like. All you're doing is just committing to, like, I can only make 3 mistakes, or I'm going to replay the battle, as opposed to just, like, playing the battle. I mean, you still get the rewind mechanic without Classic mode, And losing characters in a battle still means they're not available in the battle.
I mean, I like the implied odds, or the stakes, if
I feel like the sense of threat is important.
If I fuck up 3 times, then I'm like, and I lose a character, and it's like, well, then I fucked up 3 times. I lost that character.
But it's not even like a sense of threat. It's a sense of like, great, I'm going to have to replay this again. I don't want to play this game anymore.
No, I'm saying I wouldn't replay it. I would just roll with it, and that character would be dead.
You probably would.
You would not.
But the thing is,
I mean, I like to think I would,
because these are your students, and like the outside of battle stuff is so good at like building you build so many relationships with these characters that you wouldn't let a character just die unless you just really hated them. Yeah. Which there are characters I kind of hate.
Let him die.
So
if he dies.
All right. Well, I haven't made the decision yet, but I'm.
Yeah, I mean, you don't have to, but like I've played a Fire Emblem game with that casual mode on before, because I'm like, I don't have time to restart battles. But what that led to me doing is just kind of strategizing around the fact that I could just lure this dude over here, let him die, almost as a diversion, because he's not gone forever. It's just you just think about the battles a little bit differently.
Yeah, and I don't like the
it's
thinking.
Chess.
I don't like that idea, because I feel like I would let myself slip into doing stuff like that if that was the case.
I don't get what the difference is.
Yeah.
The difference is
the stakes are different. You have to be more
I would
careful.
strategize around the idea that like, if I make the wrong move, it could cost me a character, instead of just like sacrificing people to like lure dudes away.
Know.
You know what I mean?
I think the implied drama of permadeath is really intriguing, and the idea of it being there is really cool. But like, you don't actually want to deal with that.
But that's what I'm saying is is some people do, and the rewind mechanic means the fuck ups aren't as punishing. That's
Sure.
now you said you think there should be a but.
No, based on your Twitter this past week, it seems like there absolutely should be, but
let's clear this up.
Please do, because your tweets were very minimalistic, and I really didn't have any idea.
They've been the exact same that they've always been every time I've ever played
his big concern.
a Fire Emblem game since I had Twitter. And I actually went back and I retweeted a bunch of old tweets, and they're the exact same from all the Fire Emblem games.
Was I looking at retweets of...
You very much probably were, and that's kind of the point.
Funny.
That's because the Fire Emblem game...
It's always had the same problem when it comes to leveling up.
It's like fucking chocobos in Final Fantasy, right? It's always in here. They think it's such a core part of the Fire Emblem experience, and that's when a character levels up, their stat gains are basically dice rolls. Now, they are weighted, right? So if I'm like a knight... or it's actually, I think, typically character based. So like if I'm a character like that big beefy dude I have, right? Obviously he's gonna be like a big tanky
Henry
character.
Cavill type character.
Yeah. The beefy dude, his chance of getting like hit points and strength on level up might be 60%, and his chance of getting magic might be 20%, right? But the thing is, you're still rolling that dice, and there'll be times where he'll get no hit points and no strength, and he'll get a fucking magic point, and he's never gonna be a magic class. He'll literally never use that stat. But that's how the dice rolled. And the thing is, the stat points, they mean a lot in this game. Like 1 point of defense could be the difference between living or dying. Because, like I said, enemies are very powerful. It's a very punishing game. One, fuck up could be the death of a unit, right? So you really care about these stats. And you care about characters for outside of battle reasons, right? There might be a character that I just really like her personality, or this dude's really cool and like supports, right? So like that becomes my favorite character, which means every time he levels up, I want him to get the good stats, while like the lame character in my class, which I'm the Golden Deers, and if you are, you know who he is. He sucks and he looks really weird.
Whoa!
Oh, that's
unnecessary.
The fact that like the dice rolls means that he could just be a much better character than the character you really like just fucking sucks. I wish they would just kick that system. Like maybe give me like a random amount of skill points on level up and let me allocate those how I want, right? Like maybe I'll only get 1 stat point on a level up as opposed to 3 or 4, but at least I could choose to put that into fucking speed, which is super important for maybe the class that I want to make that character. You know what I mean?
What is the philosophy behind doing it this way? Like what is the idea that they're trying to express through the mechanics?
It's like a role-playing game.
I know, but like, is the idea that like, because it's like saying, yeah, but that's not how D&D works.
I know.
But like it's like saying, okay, so if I've got a dude who's really strong and really good at swinging swords, and he goes out there and he swings his sword a bunch and kills a bunch of dudes, and he gets better at using magic. Like, so, what is happening?
So here's
like,
the thing.
What's going on?
I feel like it's more it's more based around this idea of maybe making it's an accessibility issue.
But at some point there was a design decision, a philosophical design decision. Game. Yeah, sure. Back then, a design decision to go, and that's even weirder because that's back then. That's very different back then. That's back when everything was still like a more direct derivative of tabletop role playing games, where this did not happen.
So, and the difference back then is you get a lot more units. This series was designed for, I think, units to be expendable. That's why there was this permadeath thing. You get a lot more units, you become less attached to them because there wasn't as much story. Well, that
definitely makes more sense in a game.
There wasn't as much story back then, right? Yeah. So if like this character died or he got stat fucked, it didn't matter because I didn't spend hours having tea with them outside of battle. Right. But now you do. Now you might have a dude who just kind of sucks or he hates commoners and you never want to fucking use him because
he's racist and he gets all the points.
Or he's classist, right? Right? I don't want to use him, but he's like a god because the dice rolls fell in his favor. So, like, it sucks more than it used to.
So Prince in chat, I want to just comment on that. Brad has mentioned that before. That yes, the characters that are geared towards strength have a higher chance of getting those strength boosts, but since a percentage
rolls.
Correct. Since it is a percentage roll, they could still get whatever. And that was Brad's tweet from the other day saying that, when a character doesn't use magic, gets 2 level ups, and both times they're boost to magic, it kind of sucks.
Yeah. I will say, and I react this way every time, it doesn't make me dislike Fire Emblem, and it doesn't make me dislike this one. It just makes it an emotional roller coaster for me. It's very exciting when a character...
That is what I've been experiencing on Twitter, is your roller coaster.
Yeah, it's very exciting when a character levels up because you get these dice rolls are like, oh my god, what's gonna happen? What's gonna happen? What's gonna happen? Especially because like class requirements, might or whatever, right? So this is me using the rewind, by the way. I think accidentally, actually. So it's not that much. It's just that one aspect of the series that I've come to accept, but that doesn't make it any less like maddening for me. When 3 times in a row, 3 physical fighters level up and they all get a magic point, I'm pulling my hair out, going, "Why, God, why?" But I think that crazy RNG makes it sort of exciting in its own weird, fucked up way.
Maybe
so
it
so
kind of makes it feel like gambling.
With this game. It's just a complaint with this series that they're so stuck to tradition.
It makes it feel like gambling. That's why they're doing it.
It does make it feel like gambling, but you want your waifu to be the best fucking Myrmidon out there, but no, the loser is
Myrmidon,
the sword fighter.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, one last legitimate complaint might seem a little cosmetic, but they've done this thing now to where they're actually zooming down into the battlefield to do like the cutaways, right? So when it zooms out, it's just literally just zoomed out, right?
Yeah.
So before it wasn't really like that, right? It was top down. It was you had like icons, not icons, but like instead of the actual character models, they had like representation of the character models in sort of like a sprite, right?
Sure.
But like it was always very clear to see like what that unit was, right? Because of like, think of like Advance Wars, right? It's very because of the silhouette. It was very clear to see the whole battlefield just by glancing at it, like clear understanding, communicating to the player. This unit's here, this unit's there, this, But now, because they're just sort of zooming out and it's still the character models, it's sort of like now they've added all these little icons to help you kind of figure out what the fuck everything is. And it actually just slows down the visual process of just understanding the battlefild.
Yeah.
And again, it might sound like kind of stupid, but it's actually slowed down battles a lot for me because I have to take time to just really just take
inventory of all the icons.
Yeah. Take inventory of all the icons. Just figure out what the fuck I'm looking at. It's just way less readable, and it makes combat, a little more sluggish actually, especially because it now has a 3D camera. So it's been bothering me a little bit. I even went back to look at Fate's footage, just looking for just footage, right? And I even back to that last one in the main series, it was so different. I'm like, oh, I miss when it was like that because. Because it was so much clearer, so much readable. But I will say, like, the in-battle animations look fucking great. Like, this is maybe the first time, like, since actual sprite work back on the Game Boy Advance that I'm like, man, this finally maybe looks as cool as some of those old sprites used to do, like when they hit criticals and shit.
You think you've done it, Brad?
I think everybody in this room should try this game, even fucking Chris Davis. Like, I think this is a great Fire Emblem.
Shots fired.
I think this is a great Fire Emblem game. It's a great entry point.
Brad, you got to relate it to the Division. Come on.
Or there are battalions.
There you go, battalions.
I want to address something too because last time we talked about, it was either the last episode or the episode before we had a viewer question where someone was like, what's something that turns you off in media or in anime or whatever, and I was kind of like, I don't like school stuff, and I was thinking about it, and like, I don't know why I said that, because I actually do kind of like that. I like this. I was thinking about the fucking Sith Academy stuff and like Knights of the Old Republic,
but this
the Old Republic and stuff.
That's a little different.
Yeah, I mean, and like I remember even thinking, like, I wasn't so hot on the gameplay of Valkyria Chronicles 2, but the idea of it being, like, a military academy, I was like, that is kind of cool. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know why I said that.
The setting's cool, and, like, this shit gets real dark and real serious. I don't know how much you've heard about it. Some of the reviews have been talking about it, but there is a point in this game where things sort of change, and shit after that gets, like, savage.
Good. I'm looking forward to this shit now.
So, like, what I've been hearing is that don't neglect recruiting students from other classes that you are maybe interested in, because there might be a certain point in the game where not only do you not have that option, but you might never have that option.
Noted. All right.
Ever. Like,
shall we move on?
Yes, we shall.
All right.
Like,
but thank you. I'm serious. I think I'm going to pick this up.
You absolutely should. Absolutely.
All right. Cool. All right, I have a couple games I just want to get out there real quick. I'm not going to spend a ton of time on them because I know Krispy and Nolan do want to talk about their time with Dragon Quest Builders, right?
No.
I know Nolan does. He's been It's got it on the fucking brain. But real quick, we are doing Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines for the Revival Club, and I was very late to getting like really deep into this. In fact, we were supposed to do this till the end of July, but I extended it through August because towards the end of July I finally like it kind of got its hooks in me. You've played this, right, Brad?
Yeah.
Has anybody else here?
I've played.
I've
it.
never finished it, but I played.
Yeah.
Oh,
I've
okay.
never
So I'm
finished
just
it, but-
really late to the party here.
Yeah.
So this game is kind of wild and like in ways that I wasn't
Only
expecting.
slightly.
But it's also broken as fuck.
Sure.
In
There's
fact,
a lot of
just trying to get this footage was an endeavor. I just
You are all modded up, right?
I mean, I got it on GOG, which everyone tells me it comes with a lot of the mods pre-installed. Right? Please tell me I haven't.
There's more.
Please tell me I haven't
Wait.
been missing.
I don't fucking know.
How is this game straight off GOG? Sometimes GOG releases will include...
Everybody told me if you buy it on GOG, it is good to go straight out of the box.
Okay.
That is what I was
That might
told.
be true. It's not like that with most games, but sometimes...
How would I even know? I mean, I feel like it's probably broke either way in certain
Yeah,
ways.
Sure.
I am not playing a Malkavian for a first run. In fact, I am playing
Not the best decision.
Yeah, I know. In fact, the first time I started, I did the
Ferratu
dice roll
or-
thing where it lets you it creates a character for you,
Yeah.
and I got a Nosferatu, and I was like, oh, cool, I know
The
that.
monster ones?
And then it started out, and I was like, and I was like,
Nosferatu's
that is not what I want to play as.
Definitely
right now.
not a first run class.
But this game. Okay, so I can't. I'm trying to remember. A Tremere, I think, is is what I'm playing.
A sexy vampire
Is that
who
yeah?
can't fucking
No, they're
dance.
not
What was
sexy.
that?
They're like the blood
I
masters.
actually considered going onto the dance
the
floor in the
blood
asylum here and just capturing footage for like 10 minutes to just be dancing straight. Like,
That would have been fun.
but
Wouldn't it be great if I had the Fortnite?
everybody talks about the dancing being dumb, but I was like, for its time, this is actually pretty like it's
Yeah.
pretty like
Dumb people dance like that in
like,
2002.
Dude, I'm not even shitting you. I've been in clubs.
I
that
know
remind me
you
of
have,
this,
Nick, because you go to dumb clubs.
and people do dance like that. I got dragged to dumb
Where
clubs.
at Elysium?
Yes, I didn't want to name names, but yes, I got dragged to Elysium quite a bit, and that
The goth
that
bar?
is what that club is. So
know.
it's pretty realistic for its time.
It's Vampire Deus Ex.
It is Vampire
Yes,
Deus
it
Ex.
is.
Well, classic Deus Ex. Well, I guess
sure,
even
yes.
modern Deus Ex is kind of classic Deus Ex. Bravo.
And for it's obvious. For me, there's obviously there's a hurdle I have to kind of get over because it looks dated. I'm not used to playing games with mouse and keyboard, which I know is a shame. So it's been kind of rough going, but I finally kind of got the hang of it. Although I do usually bump into walls when I try to walk through doors.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'll ever get over that.
How far are you? Did you do the
I'll
quest
put
with the
about-
two
so-
sisters?
Two sisters. No. So I'll tell you this: the last quest that I did, and I think maybe the quest that kind of sealed the deal for me, the one that made me say, "Okay, I'm for sure going to try and, if not finish this game, play it for a long time."
Mm-hmm.
And that is I did the you go to the abandoned hotel.
Oh, yeah.
And it's haunted.
Yeah.
And man, that shit got under my skin.
Yeah.
like that should
There's a
considering
clip of me playing that.
considering how it looks. Like it's one of those games where it's like, okay, it looks kind of bad, so like, can it actually freak me out? It freaked me out, man.
Oh, yeah, it freaked
I
me
was
out.
jumping, it was
It's
making
running a little choppy. Is that just the capture?
no, I think that's kind of how my game. No, actually, that might be the capture.
Okay.
I could be wrong. I don't. Yeah, I think it's a bit smoother
I
than
don't
this when I
think it
play
would
it.
have to be that choppy, but
Yeah.
maybe it's the rain.
It's probably that. But I'm really enjoying it. Like the things. I kind of got over the roadblocks, I think, and I hit the point where like the story is driving with me. It's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
Like the dialogue is legit interesting. The atmosphere is really good. The dialogue options are hilarious and great. And like I've already been in several situations where I've both like picked the lock or like spoken to someone and had to like weasel my way into getting into a place, and like it works out both ways. Or I've made decisions that ended up me getting like shot by like police officers and stuff and having to run and hide and like trying to decide when you need to feed and who you're going to feed on. Like that's just really cool, man.
Yeah.
I'm digging it. I'm totally gonna stick with this. My plan right now is to pretty much stream this throughout August, but
Which, I'm so
why are you
glad.
smiling like that?
I'm so
Chris?
glad you're playing this
I
because
don't know. I just had a weird thought
That you're not gonna share with us.
that I'm not going to share. It's too weird.
I'm so glad you're playing this because it is a really great game. It's just, it would be unfortunate if, you're probably playing this, right? Because Bloodlines 2 is coming out.
Well, I'm playing it. The reason I'm playing it is because we picked it for the Revival Club. But I got to be honest, like I saw the footage from E3 2019 for Bloodlines 2, and I was like, well, maybe I should really give it a solid go, just to get an idea of maybe if Bloodlines is even a series I should be interested in.
Yeah, but like this could absolutely be a situation where you're like, you saw like a trailer or an announcement for like Devil May Cry 2, so you're like, oh, I should go back and play Devil May Cry finally to get all ready to play Devil May Cry 2, and this could totally be a situation where you're playing this in service of being ready, but like this new one could be terrible.
It could be. It absolutely could be. But I'm also, of the opinion that like based on what I've played so far, like if the sequel is as good as this one from like a writing standpoint, but it's just more polished and it looks more modern, like that could absolutely be incredible.
Could be.
So I don't know if you go either way right now.
There.
Wait, what'd you get?
I want to know how those cars got in there.
Yes, me too.
That parking garage is way too
and
small.
look at this girl. She has no pants on.
I mean, why would
she's just literally standing there with no pants.
I mean, that sounds like a good time.
And it's raining.
If you're a
Her pants got
Nosferatu,
wet,
she's
so she
gonna
took
catch
them
cold.
off.
if you're a Nosferatu, you can't like roam around the streets, right?
Yeah,
You're
my
like drinking the blood of rats in the sewers the whole fucking
hey, I'm
day.
already drinking the blood of rats.
Hey, why are you doing that? You
I
don't
mean,
have to do that.
I don't have to, but usually it's
But it's kind of
it
like
takes
a
less
vampire, right? Like
It takes
that's not good blood.
I know, but it takes less effort than trying to lure people into alleyways. Also, someone told me that the impure blood of the rats only affects has like negative effects for like certain types of vampires, and Tremere is not one of them.
Okay.
So I don't think I take any of the negative effects from eating rats. So I just eat rats.
Lucky you.
Wait, so Tremere's the blood magic ones?
Yes. Okay. Yes. So yeah, this game is pretty dope. I'm gonna be playing it on my streams, usually Monday nights throughout August.
Hey, came out same day as Half-Life 2.
Yeah. Really?
How stupid was that?
Oh my god!
Oh my god!
Yeah.
Wow.
That's why nobody's played this game.
Yeah.
That's nuts.
Yeah.
So yeah. Anyways, I will mention this.
Wow.
We are playing. I mean, I know it's kind of tapered off a little bit as far as people who in the community who are still playing this, but we are doing this for the Revival Club. So if you're a supporter at the $3 tier or higher on Patreon, you can be in the Revival Club rooms in Discord, and we talk about this. I'm in there usually after streams and before streams and whatnot, talking to people about what's going on. So just keep that in mind. But the other game I want to mention, and I'll keep this kind of brief too, is I started up Ace Combat 7. Which make Chris Davis happy.
Did you play on normal?
Weird. Why?
Yes, I played on normal, but I am playing with what do you call it?
Wait, Nick, how can you get the full experience of Ace Combat 7 if you haven't played Ace Combats 1 through 6?
Wait, hold on.
True.
Shut up.
How do you know what's going on?
Shut up, Nolan.
What about the story?
Chris Davis, what is he about to say?
It's why you buy Ace Combat 0.
The
Chris
fuck
Davis,
is
you
that?
gotta talk when your mic's
You got.
on.
So Ace Combat 7 is Ace Combat 8?
Y'all are okay. Y'all are throwing me
Nick,
off
did
here.
you not know that your mother Jet in Ace Combat 6 gets killed in a firefight?
Wait,
how are you going to get the full experience?
Hey,
Yeah.
y'all are joking about the
Your
story of
mother
this game.
Jet?
Yeah, the jet you
Is this
fly
your
in
footage?
this, its mother gets
you're
killed
not-
in a firefight.
What were you about to say? You said you're playing a normal.
I don't know if that's
I'm playing on the normal difficulty mode, but I am using the actual I forget what they call it, the more complex flight controls.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Wait, what is it, Chris Davis?
The normal flight.
Normal flight controls.
No. Okay, I thought you were about to say the opposite. Like you were using the non-advanced. No.
I'm
Normal is fucking hard. I asked because I would have recommended playing on easy.
Oh no, I'm playing on normal.
No. You didn't have to like defend your choices. Like if you could get through this game on normal, like I'm proud of you.
Dude, I'm enjoying the shit out of this right now, and I'm playing on normal. And I'm playing with the normal flight controls.
You have to play with these flight controls. Like it's absurd.
And I'm also playing
the other one was
100%.
stupid.
I'm also playing 100% in cockpit view.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
I mean, I think it looks great and stuff when you pull out and you can see, but like there's something just very visceral about. I don't know if visceral is the right word, but like you feel like part of the action way more.
How many
when you're in the
missions have
cockpit.
you played?
I'm on mission 7, I think.
Okay, so have you done a mission that has like points requirements? You should have done one.
Most of the missions I've done so far have been revolving around taking out specific targets.
Okay. So like that's where you can like run into some challenges, is that being on the normal difficulty versus like easy versus hard is the missions where you have to like take out as many things and they give you like a score for it. Like gotcha. that score is different depending on the difficulty, and even on normal those can be very difficult.
Well, I feel like I'm still learning stuff even this far in. Like I'm going to be totally honest with you guys. I've played 6 missions so far, and it wasn't until I was recording this footage that I figured out how to switch locked on targets.
Wow.
Because the game never tells you that.
Oh wow.
You have to tap triangle to actually, because like every time you take out a target, it would suddenly jump to another one, and it would say like you can always tell which one you're locked onto because it kind of flashes like that.
Do you know about?
And I was like, why does it keeps locking me onto dudes that are like 10,000 feet away, and I have to like fly to them, and I was like, there's got to be a way to like have control over who you're targeting.
Do you know about like the dogfight camera? Or
where you hold triangle.
Okay.
Keep your
well, at least you know how to do that. Yeah.
I learned that too while I was recording this footage. So yeah, I'm kind of a noob in this footage, but just know that after I finished recording this footage, I was like, I know way more about this game, and I'm really enjoying it. And y'all are joking a little bit about the story, and it is kind of what I'm liking about it though is the fact that it does kind of merge. If this was just kind of like a standard like World War II story or something, or and it was just like modern military
with jets.
Stuff. No, but I mean, if it didn't have that sci-fi element to it, because there are definitely missions where you're like there's these like jets or planes that like don't fucking exist in real life. They keep talking about this thing called a space elevator, and they never once stopped to tell me what the space elevator is. So they're like, we have to defend the space elevator.
You don't know what a space elevator is?
What is a space elevator?
It's an elevator that goes to space.
That is not what it is. It's like an advanced launching pad for ships that send ships into
elevate
space.
them into space.
Yes.
No, it's literally a building.
Chris Davis.
Oh, sorry.
You can't talk when your mic's
You can't expect me not to talk about this.
Yeah,
Okay.
There's an orbital.
Leave his mic on for this game. Okay.
There's an orbital platform in the Lagrange point around Earth, and then there's like a tether that connects it to the ground.
Exactly.
Okay. Well, first of all, never once tells me that in the game. I didn't know this.
You should just know that.
But I mean, I saw it.
When you're flying around, there are diaries you can pick up that explain how the orbital.
Yeah, you
space
blow up
elevator
this plane
works.
and grab the guy's diary as you're flying by.
Do you know about holding down the missile button?
You can hold down the missile button, and the camera follows the missile until it hits its target.
Fuck me dead.
It's not like useful, but it's cool.
Yeah.
So I need to be doing more of that. I mean, there are 20 missions in this game, so I still have
Only do
plenty
it on
to
the
go.
second missile.
I have plenty to go.
When you have a good shot. Don't do it on the first missile. Do it on the second.
All right. I mean, I always fire missiles in twos.
That's what you do in these games.
Eagle 1, Fox 2.
I'm really enjoying it. It's definitely quite a bit outside of my comfort zone. I
which is good.
Can't remember the last time I played a game like this, but like it's cool. I'm really looking forward to playing the VR mode too.
Yeah.
Just to do some dogfights.
Yeah. It's cool.
But like, man, just the way the planes control, like the way the effects, like when you shoot someone down, like there's been so many amazing moments where like I shoot someone and then go flying like through their smoke, or like I shoot them and then pull up at the last second as they explode. Like that shit's so good.
So you know how you hold down triangle and you get into that sort of like dogfight camera angle?
Yeah.
So like in VR, that's just you like looking up out of the cockpit.
I mean, I did the VR mode once at E3 and I thought it was really cool.
Oh, one thing I'll say though is you might be looking for advice on this game, and while this man over here in this chair is very
he will be my go-to.
Well, so I'll
be your co-pilot.
I'll say this. He's played a lot of these games and he's probably really good at them. But he probably has some like fighter jet like fanboyism, you know what I mean? It's like so you might be a little wary about some of his jet choices because he might just be really fond of like a Russian jet.
He has a jet
might
waifu?
not actually make the game easier for you, but he might just be like a jet fanboy. So maybe get a second opinion on
Chris
his
Davis.
jet choices.
Chris Davis, which jet is your waifu?
It's the Russian MiG.
Classic. It's classic. It's a sexy jet. It's a sexy jet.
Have you seen that? Have you seen that thing's engines with its cowling off?
Mission is.
I know.
See,
there's 4 or 5 different like variants that you got to consider.
It's what the mission.
No, I totally get what you're saying.
Which variant is your favorite?
You are going to have to. There's one jet specifically that's very good at attacking like land enemies.
Yeah.
There's multi-roll, there's anti-air, and there's anti-ground.
I've only done
cowgirl.
missions that have air
but
to air.
But the correct answer to your statement is always the plane that you have to unlock after you beat the game. It's always like the the mecha designer plane.
And that's the one
not
that
what I'm talking about.
and then you have
like
to go
the
back.
Shinden.
I don't know what that is. So,
Do you ever pick like the
Shinden is
alien-looking-
the sexiest jet.
I'm
Jets
buying
and-
stuff in the skill tree or the plane tree.
Yeah.
You can buy planes and parts for the planes and stuff.
Yeah.
I'm buying stuff pretty much based on what I can afford.
The Shinden is
At
the
the- at
one
this
where
point.
where
At
the
this point.
cockpit, your
I
stick.
never
it's
choose
literally
the
just a
real
big
like
dick.
sci-fi looking jets.
Yeah, if you like
I
the
never
sci-
choose
I
them.
mean,
Great in VR.
Most of the ones that I've gotten so far are like real planes, like.
F-14.
yeah,
F-14,
most of them are very
yeah.
contemporary.
F-14
fighter
But
craft.
there's some sci-fi
Gosh.
shit in here too.
Oh, dude, this series is built on sci-fi,
series,
man.
dude?
I mean, I'm gonna
It
be
is
honest.
series tradition to
You just gotta
have
get
like
further.
a classic like mecha anime designer to design a plane for these.
Well, I'm
for
looking
these
forward to
games.
that shit.
There's a
I'm gonna be
Godzilla
honest.
jet?
The
The-
story
no,
in this
mecha.
game. The story in this
There's
game
a
is kind
Gundam.
of
There's a Gundam jet.
One of the guys that
Godzilla.
did a lot of the designs for Macross
like a core
designed
fighter.
a plane for this series.
that's
Wait,
pretty
really?
cool.
Wait, is it a Varia-fighter? Does it turn into a?
no, it's
No.
not a verified.
I mean,
Why not?
A Valkyrie.
Why won't they just fucking take the plunge?
Because Harmony
Give
Gold.
me jets that turn
Because
into
it doesn't want to
robots.
be anime. I think
But like,
it is anime.
It
so
is
like
anime.
that's
But
what's
it's-
kind of cool of the series is that it looks like Top Gun, but it sounds like anime.
yes, and it strangely works. I'm not even kidding.
Yeah.
And like the
weird.
cutscenes that happen between the missions are they look really good.
You
and there's
gotta-
some crazy shit happening.
you
I will
gotta-
be
And
honest,
there's like so
Commune
much
with the
drama
heart of
going
the
on with
jet.
like the chatter on the radio. You're like, oh my god, he betrayed us, and you're like, I'm just trying to shoot down this fucking jet.
I'm just shooting what the computer tells me to shoot.
I will say this: the fact that they decided so there's two warring countries, right? Or yeah, so
Which
two,
You're
ones?
gonna have to go to Chris
It's,
Davis. on
one
that.
is
It's
Osea and
America and Russia.
Osea or
Osea and Slovakia.
Oshia and Erusia. I get
No,
them.
it's the Erusian continent.
it's the
Come on, Nick, get it right.
I'm sorry,
Yeah,
but whenever
come
they're
on.
talking about
Fool.
it in like conversations, I still honestly have no
So-
idea who's on what side.
Yeah,
and,
what?
you know, it's very confusing.
Why do they? What?
Why do they name things like
No,
this?
why? Why do they come up? No, that's a rabbit hole we can't afford.
Yes, we can't.
It is a rabbit hole.
I'm putting the kibosh. All I'm saying is Ace Combat 7 is pretty fucking cool. I'm enjoying it quite a bit.
And
so,
I'll end Nick by saying that if you love the sci-fi element, it's not just limited to planes. Like there are so many aspects of the series that go ape shit.
go ball crazy.
Like there's Ace Combat 0 is based around like the fucking Knights of the Round Table.
What?
And there's like mid game, like there's this place
You have to
called
find like an ancient fabled jet
there's
that's like
this-
imbued with magic power.
There's a place.
Oh my god! Someone start writing this game.
You go to this battlefield mid game called like Avalon, and there is this giant like laser facility called Excalibur that's shooting fucking lasers at you, and you've got to just like dodge at the absolute last second.
All right, we'll see how I
You
feel
gotta
at the
get
end
to
of
the teens in terms of missions to get to the good stuff.
All right, well,
but-
I'm enjoying it so far. I'm definitely going to finish this game, so we'll see
We're
how
gonna
I
have
feel.
a conversation.
We'll have a conversation. Chris
Ace
Davis.
Combat Zero is one of the rare, I think, entries in the series. Though
The
It's
jet
not- it's
plane
not
in
that
the
cheap.
stone.
What? Wait, is this is the only one that's been on this generation, right? Or is
Yes.
there...
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
unfortunately.
but
Correct.
they've
It's been a while
they've
since the
put the
last
other
one.
as downloads and stuff. Here.
All right.
Oh my god! And then Camelot could be a giant aircraft carrier.
Okay, so here's what we're going to do, guys. I'm going to put the kibosh on the Ace Combat talk for a second. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to talk about some Dragon Quest builders.
With towers.
We're going to do a few quick news topics. We're going to read some questions from our supporters on Patreon. And we're going to wrap up the show with the 4-player minute. How does that sound?
Awesome.
I like it. Let's do it.
All right.
Yeah.
Don't go anywhere, guys. We'll be back in just a moment. All right, are we ready?
What if Manti jerks off?
All right.
Because Manti, no. I'm saying if he jerks off on camera, because Manti does jerk off.
Okay.
It's
This is the
pretty,
podcast,
It's
by the
pretty
way?
rare.
Can we make sure that everyone knows Manti's a dog just so we're getting
Yeah,
that?
Manti's a dog.
Okay,
He's
thank
like
you.
a Jack Russell, and
He's a jack off Russell.
and he jacks off. Not often.
I don't feel like
Russell's his other dog.
The crazy part is he won't jack off in front of you. He'll like go behind the couch
he's got dignity, okay?
or like goes out on the back porch and jerks off. And like
Brad doesn't do that. He does it right in front of
he
you.
doesn't do it often, but he does bounce around in a circle as he does it.
Okay, I don't think I need to know the answer to this question, but I kind of need to know. I kind of want to know the logistics of this. How does a dog? You know what? No.
He puts his.
What? Whoa!
No, I don't want to. I don't want to know.
You just stumbled on the title of the episode right here.
No,
he puts his paw.
I already got that.
On his junk and he bounces.
In some lube.
He literally puts his paw on his junk and he bounces.
On some R&B.
Yeah, I've talked about it
Turns
before.
on some, light some candles.
Yeah.
And as he's bouncing,
With his
he
non-opposable
turns around
thumbs.
in a circle.
Interesting.
I haven't seen him do it in a while.
All right, this is the show.
Okay.
Oh.
Welcome back to the show.
I didn't even know it was a thing until I saw Manty do it. It was crazy. And Malia was like, yeah. He jerks off.
Every day. While you're
All the
gone.
time.
Every day.
You're watching evolution happen before your eyes.
This is the Discovery Channel.
Oh my goodness. All right, Nolan,
What up, Nick?
Krispy. Y'all are both
Wait, what?
balls deep in Dragon Quest
I mean,
Builders
I wouldn't
2?
say that.
Man.
No?
Wouldn't say balls deep.
I mean,
I've
yeah.
only played a little bit.
well, I mean,
But-
to get to the point where you're at, you'd have to like dip your testicles in a little bit.
Yeah. Like, I'm early on in the area that Nolan's in right now.
I'm in Crumbledon.
And
Crumbled.
Crumbledon.
I'm early on in the
Crumbledump.
area that
Crumbledump.
Nolan's in right now. And my thing says I've played 25 hours or more.
God damn it, dude. I'm probably at least like
I heard
30 to
that.
40.
What the fuck, Nolan? Dude, last week's podcast, Nolan opened with saying, "You know how many minutes of games I've played this year? Zero.
No.
0 minutes. 40 hours later."
You know what's great is we're at the mining island now, so we're learning how to mine. And
It's Crispy's mic.
Ah, am I on?
Okay, no,
Yeah,
no,
is
sorry.
mine on?
Somebody
Yes.
in chat said something and it made me worried.
Dude,
Okay,
you want me to scare y'all?
No.
Oh, hold
I
on,
was
hold
in the
on.
middle of a thought.
Let him
Let
finish his
Crispy
thought,
finish
and then
his
you can
thought.
scare us.
All of the miners on the mining island are like kinky leather daddies.
Yeah.
What?
They're all wearing these like leather straps
Oh, do they
on
have
their
the horns
topless.
with the-
Yeah,
Bullets.
he's the problem is he's off camera because they're just blocking the
Yeah,
way.
they're in like regular
It's
Dragon
like
Quest
a
games.
classic Dragon
These
Quest
guys,
enemy. Yeah.
but like all of these
Yeah.
guys have like the leather straps and like
Kinky
This is a
leather
fetish island,
daddies.
yes.
oh no, very much.
it's really weird. With
There's like
the
one
lady that
woman
runs the
and all of these
village.
guys. Yeah,
They all want to watch her dance.
yeah,
Yeah.
Weird.
It's like, if y'all go mine for me, I'll put on my bunny outfit or something.
yeah, and she
It's
does.
weird, yeah.
She does.
But they're all chibi.
I mean,
Sure.
show.
I could
they're
jerk off to
adult
Chibi.
So
All
yeah,
right, let's quickly distance ourselves from that comment as quickly as possible.
It's not as culturally taboo in Japan. I mean, is it? I don't know. I don't know. Just keep going. Just keep going.
Holy
so
hell.
anyway, I've been playing a little bit of Dragon Quest Builders 2.
Uh-huh.
I picked it up and I basically haven't put it down.
I know, you threatened to cancel the podcast tonight because you wanted to play
It's
this.
kind of
one of
fucking
those.
good.
No,
It is.
I bet I could tell you something that might make you stop playing this game.
Okay.
I don't. Does he
I'm
want?
pretty sure I heard there's 6 story islands.
God damn
Like
it, dude.
beyond Island
Wait,
of Awakening.
what island are you on?
2.
Oh my god!
And I'm like at least 30 hours
I'm pretty
in.
sure that's what I heard. I'm pretty sure I heard, and this was from the mouth of Tim Rogers himself.
Wow.
I
Okay,
trust.
but,
I
like,
trust that
there's
man.
a builder table that is like segmented into the different.
I
That
thought
is
it was
true.
3.
and there's only 3.
I heard
Um,
6.
It's like when you're playing Far Cry 2 and you think I've spent 35 hours playing.
So hold on,
explored
Brad.
this entire map, and
What-
then it
No,
opens
no,
up an
no.
entire another
I
map.
heard
Are you
like
sure those, like-
11 to 13 islands total or something?
What?
6 story islands.
Somebody in chat has to know the answer to this question.
I guess-
So anyway, I'm on Island 2. About 30 something hours in.
We're just learning how to make rocks.
Yeah. It is the problem with this game. It is Minecraft meets Stardew Valley meets Dragon Quest.
All of those games
all
are
of the
relatively
addictive
addicting.
shit. And it doesn't stop. It's one of those situations where, you know, you finish a quest and as soon as you do, someone runs up and they're like, "Hey, can you help me out real quick?" And you're like, "Well, sure." Like,
You should
what
be
do
like,
you
"No."
got?
Sometimes I wish they would
Build
just
me a
like
shitter.
wait a second, maybe like wait to get off the shitter before they run over.
They
to
sometimes
you.
they will run, and that is the best part. Oh my god, I remember the
Sim
day
stuff, yeah.
the day I built a toilet, and everyone got
Yeah.
excited, and they all go run up,
Rush in past somebody trying to use the toilet so you can take
so you
all
can take the
poop
shit out of the
it.
toilet because you
The way
collect the
people-
shit from
and,
the toilet.
and then they clap.
Yeah.
collect everyone's shit, and then they're like, "Thank you."
Yeah, they give you little hearts for collecting their shit.
Everyone's cheering
use
on like
the
the first guy
It's
taking
night
the shit.
soil, Nick.
I
Use it
thought
to
you
make
guys
night
were
soil.
joking for a
No,
second.
you use it to
No,
make
it
night
is
soil.
night soil. You
Yeah,
use it
correct.
to make
Fertilizer.
fertilizer.
Night soil is poo-poo.
Wow.
But
This is a really progressive game.
And so, like, the best part was and I wish I would have written it down because I don't remember exactly what they said, but the first time Rosie, on the island, she used the toilet, and she goes up, and she was like, this is bliss.
Oh my god.
But
Gigamir in
nice.
chat says everyone talks about the end of this game like it's
so
a
nice
myth.
to empty my colon.
so that's the best part. So let's like I said, Stardew Valley meets Minecraft meets Dragon Quest. There's a couple other games thrown in there
There's
too.
a little bit of like city or town builder.
Yeah,
stuff in
no,
it, too.
definitely.
'Cause
So
they're like simmy stuff.
yeah, but one of the best parts about this is in Stardew Valley, you do everything. In this, you have people in your town that will help you.
Yeah.
So you can teach your villagers how to farm, and then they will farm for you.
So you set up like
can-
it's like a system of automation, kind of.
Kind of. Once you do things and the villagers like it, so they give you hearts. They're like, oh, thank you for helping me. Here's a heart. Once you get enough hearts, you can level up your town. The higher level your town is, the villagers will start doing more things for you. Once you get it to the max level, if you have a blueprint, because you're the mythical builder, the townspeople will actually build the building for you if you give them all the supplies. You essentially put a crate, put all the supplies they need, and they will build it for you.
And that stuff's so cool. It's just adorable seeing them
Oh,
do
yeah.
anything in the towns. Like the first time, like you learn how to like put food in a chest so they can eat, and everybody in the
God.
towns runs, and they all get out a cabbage, and they're all just
They
eating
huddle around the
cabbages.
chest.
It's great because like once you like build the kitchen
funny.
and you get like the dining
Yeah.
area set up and the bathrooms and like the fields and everything all set up, they just like fall into a normal schedule.
they have their
They'll,
thing
like,
they
they
do.
go to mealtime. They all go to the bathhouse
Yeah.
at the end of the day.
I love that
check it out.
aspect.
Like it's really fun.
That's really cool. I have
It
a
just lets you do your thing.
I have a question. I remember when the first game came out. I know Krispy played some of it, and you were
This
really
is
into
very
it.
different from the first
So
game.
what is the differentiating?
So I never
factor
played
here?
the first one, but everything I've heard,
Structure.
how the game plays out. The first one had a big focus on that building and on that stuff.
Right.
This so
But
much
you
more.
you did all the building yourself in the first one, right? There was
Yeah, I
no
think
like
the whole
automation.
automation thing is kind of expanded.
Oh, God.
here, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Yeah. The farming stuff is new in this. Like all of the mining, they've greatly expanded the game.
And like the whole Island of Awakening thing, and sort of like the not non-linear stuff, but the fact that you can like kind of go back and forth back to your main island is the big difference. The first game had like 4 different islands or areas, and like it's like you were starting the whole game over from the beginning when you got to a new island. You couldn't bring anything with you. You had to start from square
Well,
one.
in this one, every time you go to a new island, you can't take
Sure,
anything
but
with
like,
you.
but like
They all-
even the
they're all
even like
persistent.
tools and like
Oh, okay,
everything
yes.
was
Gotcha.
gone. Recipes, all that like started over when you went to a new
Gotcha,
island.
okay.
I'm pretty sure. So that's very different. And
So
you couldn't go back.
So
But-
it's a lot better because now you'll spend like 10-15 hours on the mining island just like learning how to mine, but it feels like it's building towards something bigger because
Yeah.
then you can take everything that
And
you
go
learned
back to,
and the
yeah,
people
Isle
that
of
you've
Awakening,
recruited
yeah.
Like mine
back
carts.
to the Island
Yeah.
of Awakening and
Yeah.
then like make your main base better.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Yeah.
you're doing like legit like terraforming on your main island.
Yeah.
Like
Although,
you're building like rivers.
I gotta
and
be
fields
honest with
and
you.
shit.
That's
I feel like it would be so much better. Like, the game is very hands-on. It's very linear
Yes,
in terms
it
of
is.
the progression. If it was completely hands-off on your main island, it would be so much better. But the fact
Oh,
that
yeah.
you go back to your main
And
island
you have like
and it
main
is still like the
stories,
step by
They
step.
want you to do certain things. Yeah.
Like I think they were kind of like getting
It's
like
a children's game.
yeah.
no, it's not.
No,
a
it's
children's game.
definitely not.
I
mean-
wanted to actually chime in, but I wasn't on the podcast last week. But like, Dragon Quest is like this is like a 30-year-old series, and it's all about like tradition. Like this Akira Toriyama art style. This is like not new for this series.
Correct.
Like there's like old people who are playing this game who it's nostalgic for them, not like kids necessarily. Like this is absolutely made for
I
like
mean-
the story of
Star
Dragon
Wars
Quest.
is like 40 years old. That's still a children's
I know, but like, listen, like Dragon Quest Builders 1 was like followed the story of the very first Famicom game.
Yeah.
Like kids didn't play that, It not the same story, but it was like a nod to that. It was like if you had chosen the bad ending in the original Dragon Quest, that's where like the first Builders like continued. And this one, if you've played the second Dragon Quest game back on the Famicom, a certain aspect of this game is a spoiler because you immediately recognize the name of the big bad.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that the game is like weak or inferior for being aimed at kids. This game is obviously trying to cater towards kids, just based on how much it like feels the need to explain and hold your hand.
But like, if you played Dragon Quest XI, you could say the same thing. I think it's actually the series.
I think that's probably true.
Yeah.
But it's just that the series is so stuck in tradition and is so faithful to like how the series has always been, makes it seem more childlike.
Yeah, but it also, the series began in a time where video games were largely considered children's entertainment.
I mean,
I think we're going down a road that lets.
You're right. That's
No,
all I
that's-
debate.
that's fine, that's
but
fine.
I think you're both honestly here, but you're both neither one of you are wrong. But let's get back on
I'm
the
not
actual
saying
game
it makes
itself.
the game any worse. I'm having a hell of a time with it. I love it.
So let me clear up one thing real quick, because after the podcast last week, that's when I decided to buy this game. Did a little bit of research on their internets for PS4 versus Switch, and I found some videos. One specifically, Sony's running scared because of Switch and blah 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 and all this stuff. That's a fucking lie. This game does not run great on the Switch. I was hoping that was wrong, and they were like, "Oh, there's a couple of frame drops here and there." There have been multiple scenarios for over a minute,
Switch, right?
over a minute where this game's been running at sub 15 frames a second, close to 10 frames a second. And when that happens, like, oh my god, it is like.
Well, so you're playing on Switch?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I haven't run into
like I said, it hasn't been like 100 times. And don't get me wrong, the load times aren't as good, but thankfully you actually don't have to load that much.
It's that initial load.
Correct, I know.
But
initial
it
load
does
when you
kind
open
of
up the
turn me
game.
off from turning on the game, though.
Yes, but like I said, there have been at least 2 or 3 scenarios where so far like I said, sub 15 frames a second, and when that happens, it is no fun. There's been multiple times where I've just like killed the game and restarted it because I was like, I don't want to deal with this.
But it lets me play at lunch, and that's kind of a big deal.
No, well, so here's the other thing. This game is horrible handheld with text. The text is so fucking small.
Same
They do
thing with Fire
nothing.
Emblem.
They do nothing to increase the text size when you're playing like undocked. And it is. Don't get me wrong. I can read it. I just gotta fucking get it close to my face because it's just tiny ass fucking text.
If your big system selling feature, the fact that it can go from like handheld to like your TV at home, how do you not like pressure developers to make like 2 different text,
to optimize it for
text
both
sizes?
Can you
right?
read the text that above his head right there?
Take this.
Barely.
Yeah.
I mean,
Okay, but now imagine that on a screen that big in front of you.
Yeah.
Like, it's pretty small. And when you're in conversations with people and there are giant blocks of dialogue, it's just no fun to read it handheld.
Fire Emblem too. Like I don't understand why Nintendo doesn't pressure developers or like even make it a requirement to say, hey, you need to have text size options because people are going to be playing this in handheld.
But all of that aside, it still runs pretty good for a fucking Switch game, especially for how big this world is. And like I said, when you load onto like an island or whatever, there's no more loading. You're good.
there, and you're probably going to spend a good amount of time there before you ever have to do it again,
even when you fast travel, it's pretty quick. But like this entire, I could literally come here and run through this entire island without seeing a loading screen once.
Yeah, I mean, fast traveling is very quick.
And fast traveling's quick.
Yeah,
But no, so like I was saying,
the game does run okay. Like you look at something like Bloodstained on the Switch and it runs like shit, and then you look at something like this, you start to wonder why Bloodstained.
I was
runs like
this close
shit.
to trading in Bloodstained to get Fire Emblem this weekend.
I mean, do it. I traded it for the first.
But like
time.
I said, this game is just super fucking addictive. It is a constant and I won't go too much into this island because I know I'm ahead of these guys. But on the first island that you go to when you're creating this, you have this farm. Everything's run down because the soil has been ruined. And you're trying to help them like rejuvenate the soil so they can get back to farming and stuff. And it's just this delightful little romp of you like learning new skills and helping out the town and building little farms. And you find this worm guy who will like kind of till the soil for you and make it usable
by eating it and pooping it out.
Yes, that's what he does.
I was actually worried that like some of the magic that I had on that first island would kind of wear off, and that maybe they do some of the same shit when I got to the second island. I was surprised to see how different it was.
100% different.
Island, you're like, oh, there's minecart tracks everywhere, and you're like, oh,
Nick,
you
you spend the whole island, the first one, farming, agriculture. That none of that is here.
Dude,
you don't do a single bit of farming here.
I'm really glad that
the third island? Is it all like defense? Like
I have no idea. Yeah.
I'm really glad that
I've
this is the
seen
reaction that
footage
we're
of
having.
like flying vehicles, so like it goes places.
I'm really excited and happy that we are having this reaction. It's funny thinking because like E3 this year, literally the first game I played at E3 was this, and it was like one of those things where it's like I have an appointment for it. It's one of those like, it doesn't seem that exciting, and I play. I was like, oh, that's charming, but like I didn't, it didn't demo very well in terms of like.
I can
like,
imagine.
It didn't have enough time to get its hooks in me, but like.
When you're like 20 hours into this and you're like, I think I know this.
Yeah. Like that's pretty fucking cool. But honestly, what Brad said is scaring me a bit.
Although it's such a monster, I've been trying to get Malia to play some without me there.
Fuck.
Are you trying to recruit Malia to play for you?
But the thing is,
If you could just till my crops and harvest them.
No, but see, it's not like that. I actually just want her to make progress because the game is such a monster, but she doesn't believe me now because I told her the story of like how I used to do that with my little brother. I used to make him like do all the shitty repetitive stuff that I didn't want to do, like grind.
I just thought of like, what if
So now she thinks I'm just trying to get
got
her
Robin
to do
to
that.
play it?
What if
I'm not?
What if I could get Robin interested in playing this, and then we could both treat it as like a thing that we both play, like we both log into the same
Trade off, yeah.
and we just like when she has time to play it, and I can't, I'm not there. Then
I mean, so I will agree with Brad that this is a monster of a game. Like I said, I'm on, maybe I'm getting kind of close to the end of Island 2, maybe, and I'm like 30-something hours
Remember the
in.
first island though? You felt like you were almost done with
I
it,
know,
and then
that's
it's
true.
like
There's
build
always
this
something
giant
else.
tree and then fight. Oh, I will say, now that you've played it, maybe you can agree. Like the combat in this game is not good.
It's not amazing.
And it could have been so much better.
Yes, it is. It is not the best part
There's
of this
not
game.
a dodge. There's not a block. There's not a.
Often you'll accidentally.
we don't need those things.
You'll accidentally hit an enemy away from you, but then you're stuck in an attack animation, and you're just kind of swiping at nothing for like 2
honestly,
seconds.
I'm really glad that they added like the sidekick, like the main
Oh,
orc,
yes.
to
Yeah,
do
he's
most of the
good.
heavy lifting and fighting
Yeah.
for you.
Yeah.
Like you really don't even have to fight in a lot of
The
situations.
shit you were doing at the end.
So
Towards
you-
the end
I
of the
don't
first
just, like,
island.
whack somebody and
sucked.
run away, and
he'll
will
do
go
it,
in there
yeah.
just, like,
Well, hold on. So I don't know if y'all far enough. You get like a combo with him. You get like start getting some moves that you can combo with him too.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, and I don't know if I do it in this footage at all, but you get this move because he like powers up, and then after a little, I think I'm gonna go. I don't know if I do it against this. There's a boss in there I'm gonna fight in this footage, like a
The
little
charge
mini
attack
boss.
is so lame.
Yeah,
dude.
that you do this combo move where he like tosses you up and then slams you down. Like it's pretty cool. And I'm actually one of the weapons I ended up getting was this little like almost like a needle. And it doesn't do like an amazing amount of
can crit,
damage,
though.
but it has the ability to do an insta kill. There's a small random chance where A, yes, it can crit, but B, it can literally just insta-kill enemies. And there are these phantoms, and you've seen me fight a couple of them. They're like they was in like an orange cloak, and he had a scythe that will come out at night, and they're pretty powerful. And the problem is they appear, attack, and then they disappear and go away. And so, but there have been times where I've killed them in like 3 hits because I get a crit on them and they just die.
Yeah.
I've critted not mini bosses, but I've critted like some of like the bigger like kind of enemies you fight. But yeah, I eventually ended up getting a weapon that makes this one kind of obsolete because I'm doing like 4 times as much damage, so it makes it more worth it just to use that. But yeah, it's one of those things where, first of all, yes, I'm impressed with how the Switch handles this game because at any point in time, there are so many fucking blocks on the screen.
Is it
and
a Switch version that you feel y'all could still recommend, despite the fact that it's,
I think so.
it runs bad sometimes?
So first of all, I will say I probably played 95% of this docked, not handheld. And that's just because I can't really take it to work and do stuff. And I've tried playing it in bed, and I've done it a few times. It's like I said, first of all, the screen's a little bit small, and then B, I'm usually just sleepy.
Because
when
the
I'm in
easiest
bed.
way for me to convince Robin to play this is if it was on the Switch, because we have 2 of the docking stations, so she could just.
Well, then
like,
yeah,
It's fine on the Switch, dude.
Nick, I'm not.
I'm getting way ahead
I'm
of
not
myself
gonna
here.
like
That's just-
turn this in and like get the PS4 version. I'm gonna play it on. And I think it is good on the Switch. The thing I've heard the worst on the Switch, the worst offender, is when you'll get an ability later on, like after the first island, where you can actually multiplayer go into other people's worlds, and that's what I've heard runs like dog shit. But I think that's because the game has a hard enough time doing it, and then when you're also online, and the problem is the Switch doesn't do a good job like kind of having fog to load in stuff, it loads in everything.
Yeah.
If you can see it, it loads it in. It's one of those problems where it's like always there. So it's not like, that puts a little bit of fog off in the distance, and as you get closer, it loads it in. No.
Yeah.
And so that's the problem, is it just has so much to process. It has trouble with it.
Gotcha.
I wouldn't be surprised if we saw some updates.
The online
that make
feature
it
doesn't
run
sound
a
like
little bit
it's
better.
integral to the enjoyment of the
It's
game.
not.
though,
It's
so.
not at all. You don't have to do it at
But
all.
I did hear like there's a thing where you can like look at other people's pictures or
Yes.
whatever, but you could actually just go into their
Correct. No, that's what I'm saying. You can go into
creation
their
and-
worlds. Yes.
and like see like their cool shit.
So yeah,
That's
you
cool,
can
though.
get inspiration by going into other people's worlds and kind of seeing what they've done.
like people have made some really elaborate shit. Oh,
Yeah,
wow,
that
that
was,
actually did a lot.
That
of
was the
damage.
combo, and yes, it
Okay,
did do a
that's
lot
cool.
of damage.
But
And
now
when you're fighting like a horde of enemies, sometimes you can take out a shit ton when you do that.
That's cool.
But
How
yeah,
about a dodge though?
I would love a dodge too.
Patch and dodge.
But yeah, so later on in this island, I'm not here yet. There's like this giant temple you go through with a bunch of puzzles. There's a lot of like kind of little puzzles and
Yeah,
stuff
I
in
heard
this
about
game where you have to
that.
solve. That one was a lot of fun.
That's cool.
Mimics show up, so you go to open a chest, and nope, that's a mimic. And so yeah, it's just all these little things. And so I'm currently on this island, and like we were kind of talking about, this is not like a child's game so much. I mean, like, yeah, you are like collecting shit from toilets and stuff, and there's I'm on this island, and this island have these miners, and it focuses on everything's around this bar. They have a bar that they hang out with after they mine and stuff, and the guy wants you to like kind of spruce up his bar.
like for drinking.
Yes, 100%. You put fruit into these wine barrels, and it like ferments into like drinks, and you drink them. And so the after I fixed up this bar, they're like, this bar's good, but what about this bar? And they lay out this kind of blueprint for this silver bar, and like the floor is made from silver, and there's all this stuff. And so I've slowly been building that, and I actually just finished it, I think yesterday when I was playing the game. And it's like, it's got a giant pool in the middle of it with fountains, and the people are swimming around in the pool, and there's like a nicer bar with like, cocktail shakers and all this stuff.
Yeah.
And there's a big stage with lights for performances. And then you build out these like deck chairs with these like cactus fruit drinks and umbrellas. And you see these little like fucking leather daddy guys lounging in the deck chairs. And
As
dude,
one does.
it's fucking delightful. And like, it's one of those things where, like Brad said, it is a little dialogue heavy. This is,
Yeah, it's
it's hard to say.
understatement.
This is the end of the day. At the end of every day in the mining town, you get a recap of how much
It's
has been
annoying.
mined. It kind of gets a little annoying.
I just want everything in this game to like speed up a little bit.
Yeah.
Really.
And so, like, because all the miners are kind of working together.
Yeah.
It's cool.
Our goal is to mine enough material.
And
Because
now
we
we're
have this,
seeing a loading screen.
yeah, there's a little bit of
This
a
is
loading.
This is good. This gives you an idea.
Yeah,
what you expect.
we
on
have
the
this
Switch.
golem, and he starts out as a rock golem, and then you collect enough copper, and he becomes a copper golem. And then I've at this point in my game, I've collected enough, and now he's a silver golem. And so you can see that he got enough silver to get him. He only needs 2,000 more silver to get enough to coat himself in silver.
A lot of silver.
Dude, it goes quick. It does actually go pretty quick. And so that's the other thing, is the more you do, this is what I was talking about Krispy before the show, the more story quests you do, the more you finish, you will build something. So if someone's like, hey, can you build me a shower? So you got to put up a shower head, like a little folding door, a towel rack, and whatever. And then that inspires the miners, and they actually mine more. So that kind of goal to get more becomes quicker.
Yeah.
That you set up like a relaxation room that has like a bed, and like there's a miner in there who when you go in, he like massages the other miners and stuff.
Interesting.
Dude, it's great. Like there's so fucking much, like just little, the game is fucking chock full of charm. And
So much charm.
oh god, I love everything.
Dude, I'll be
about
honest.
it.
The thing that makes me want to play this game the most is every time watching you like destroy a block and seeing all those little blocks like.
Oh yeah,
fall
they're
out.
rubbed
Like,
everywhere.
I just want to get
And I will
all
say,
of them.
early on, I did collect every single one. But like I said, I have that earth that I'm like breaking up. I probably have a conservative estimate would be at least 2,000 or 3,000.
Yeah.
And I just don't need that many. That's the other fucking cool thing. This is the first game I've seen like this, of this style, Minecraft, Stardew Valley, whatever, that in the main game, you can get unlimited resources. So you unlock these islands, and there are these exploration islands. And you go there, and you're essentially, it's just this giant fucking vast island, and your
Just a
entire
playground.
goal
I know what it
is
is.
to go around and check mark. It's like, hey, find me this type of tree. Hey, find me this. Hey, find me this. And once you collect all of a set, you get unlimited of a resource. So I collected all of this set, I get unlimited wood. Anything now for the rest of this story, the main story of the game that I need wood to make, I unlimited wood. If I want to make, like floorboards, that are nice and they look nice in my houses. Free wood. I don't have to go and collect wood.
Fucking floors.
Same with like dry grass, which is used for making like bedding and stuff like that. And so there's another island I had access to, but the problem was I didn't have enough hearts. You have to spend hearts to unlock them before, so I just ended up going to the second island.
That's cool though. But for things where it's like where you're gonna need it's for resources where you would normally need a lot of that, because there's a bunch of other stuff I'm assuming you can't get infinite of, but like
correct, you're not gonna be able to get infinite everything.
But the
like,
things
one of the
like
things was
basic
like
things like
early
wood.
on, like when I was making houses, it's like, well, I don't have enough wood to make wood flooring to make the house look nice, so I'm just gonna make it out of dirt. And so they're in like a house with like dirt flooring, but now I can make my houses look nice. I can make them have this nice wood tile flooring with this like elaborate wood walls, and it just looks a little bit nicer.
Drugs.
And so, yeah, exactly. And so another cool thing about this game is there are, and I think I looked it up online just out of curiosity, there are like 120 something different rooms that you can build in this game.
And buildings.
Yeah. So like bedrooms, different types of kitchens, different types of like bathrooms, showers, all that different stuff. And you have to kind of, some of the stuff they will kind of like lean you towards, like this is how you do it, but other stuff you kind of just discover on your own by accident or whatever. Like there's like, oh, you can build a kitchen if you put 3 bonfires and a table with some chairs and some bowls and a chest and this, you have like a kitchen now, like an eating area. But if you throw in some like wood and some mining tools or whatever, now you have an agricultural kitchen. And like it kind of changes how it plays out. In this, I was able to build a mushroom like cookhouse. And so you collect mushrooms, and now one of the people who live in the town, they'll cook for me. And so you go and you put all the supplies in the chest, you'll put the mushrooms, and they'll cook them. And I actually just got an upgrade to my cookware where I can create a frying pan. And so now I can combine multiple materials. I don't have to cook one thing at once. And so when you combine meat with mushrooms, it makes this fancy like dish that ends up giving you more, like you have a hunger meter and health. It gives you more benefits, and also they'll give you like kind of boosts. So you'll get like a stat boost to like destruction or to like attacking and stuff like that. This game
goes
has
deep.
so many details.
This game goes deep.
Yeah, and it's delightful. It's like I said, like I haven't been able to put it down. It's one of those situations where I'm at work, like just like can't wait till I get home and I get to play Dragon Quest.
All right. Well, we'll check back in with you next week when you've played 80 hours of the game.
Probably.
So
Man.
the third island.
Maybe.
Jesus, I can't even fathom.
Well, and so that's the other thing
Can't
is
even
like
fathom.
we're talking about like, and there's that main island, the Island of Awakening, and like I've done like basically nothing there. Like Krispy said, I made a river and I made a meadow, and that's all I've done there. Now I'm on
That's all you
another
need.
island, and I got to go back, and I'm probably going to spend a lot of time like making that island look kind of nice because that's our main island. That's where we
Right.
go to hang out.
There it
and
is.
stuff.
Dragon Quest Builders 2 sounds like maybe an early game of the year contender. Maybe. I don't know.
Maybe.
Maybe. All right. Before real quick mention. I'm going to talk about this more on future shows probably.
Okay.
Crispy's already shaking his head. He knows what's coming.
I think we all know what's coming.
Maybe.
You've already spent too long.
Final Fantasy XIV. I made a character. I'm level 17.
Whoa!
What have I
What'd you
done?
make?
What have I
A
done?
cat person?
I made an elven person. Yeah,
Like
so I'm
fleshy
doing this
cats.
primarily because I've heard a lot of really good things about Shadowbringer, the latest expansion.
Me too.
Like people are saying, like straight up, maybe some of the best Final Fantasy content we've had since like the PlayStation 1 era.
You know what's great about Final Fantasy XIV is that it's what I have wanted from Final Fantasy for a while, and that it's all like fantasy stuff.
Yeah,
Instead of-
that is a big part of it
instead
for
of
me.
being
Yeah,
weird,
I understand.
belts
Like, the
and
last time I
pouches,
felt-
magic punk,
like,
steampunk shit.
Honestly, the last time the series
Diesel
resembled
punk?
anything like this was 12, and even then that was bordering a little bit on maybe more of the sci-fi side for my taste.
It had flying ships.
So like
Price so
I'm really digging. I love the world. I love the design of it and everything, and I'm really digging it. Of course, I am having to plow through like the vanilla Final Fantasy XIV content to get to the stuff I really want to play.
Which I hear is kind of long and grindy and bad.
Yes, like everything I've done so far, which I'm enjoying my time. It's fun, and I'm
How much have you played?
about 12, 13 hours of it so far.
17 levels.
17 levels. Yeah.
Oh.
But I'm trying to balance it with other things. I'm not trying to spend too much time. But
Don't let him shame
I'm
you.
having a good time because
No, it's not a shame.
there are a
It's-
lot of people.
I wish I could do it. I mean, I've always said if I had to play them, if
And
I
it's-
played
dude.
MMOs,
and it's free to level 35 after they
And
get you.
There's all that Evilise content to get to.
Well, I think it's just a raid actually.
That was
But
weird.
I will
thought it
say,
was like,
I did it primarily because
Still,
I don't know actually.
I'm really enjoying it because there's a lot of people in our community that are playing it. Like literally, like
those fuckers we never see anymore.
No, I see them all the time.
These MMO, we've lost so many quality people to MMOs over the years.
Hey, you careful. They are in chat.
I know. And you know when the last time I saw them on one of my streams was?
Well, Brad, you just got to stream some Final Fantasy 14.
Yeah.
By the way,
right?
I will be streaming some Final Fantasy 14 when I get to the point where I'm like ready to play with it. Because right now
what are you?
I've been
Look
soloing
at Faust.
everything.
When was the last time you saw Faust pop into one of your streams?
I think I saw him yesterday in the Discord channel.
What?
Talking about.
I am an
You're not high
elven
enough level to get a job.
I am an
You're
elven
Faust.
arcanist.
Arcanist.
We're trying to work. I've always wanted, like when I started playing Final Fantasy XI back in the day, I did it because I wanted to be a summoner. So that's my plan here. I'm going to be a summoner, so I got to get to level 30 as an arcanist, then I can become a summoner. And then once I do that, I'm plowing through the main story, so I can get to the expansion stuff, which is what I really want to play. Yeah. I want to get a mount. I want to get my own chocobo. There's so many cool mounts, man.
How much?
Dude rode by me on a fat chocobo the other day. It was so fun.
How many times have you thought about the game today?
2 or 3. I don't know. I mean, it's
Are you thinking more about this game than you are?
No.
What else are you playing?
Ace Combat, Vampire.
Have you thought more about Ace Combat or Final Fantasy 14 today?
Careful. I mean, probably Final Fantasy 14. I mean, it's mostly because there's a lot of planning that has to go. Like I'm thinking about okay, what do I need to do to
He's thinking about what he's gonna be doing in 6 months.
Like I'm trying. I want to get through Shadowbringer by the end of the year if I'm gonna be serious about this. So I gotta focus my shit. But it's great because I'm in the Final Fantasy 14 Discord channel talking to pros.
Didn't they just add a job that's basically like Squall from 8?
Yeah,
really.
And the new expansion. I heard they're kind of under.
Gigamir, I am not abandoning Sekiro again. I'm not. I promise. I promise you, I'm not. That game really beat me down last weekend. After I fought that one really tough enemy, and I'm just, I got to give myself a breather. Fuck, I know, dude. This year's getting crazy because August is starting to get crazy.
Let's do it. Let's all play.
The amount of
Final
time
Fantasy
I played
Yes!
Slay the Spire this year, I could have probably gotten to.
Yes, you could have.
But it's a different experience.
I know it is. It absolutely is.
And I do not respond. I react very poorly to this type of game.
No,
it is unhealthy for me to play MMOs, and I refuse.
That's why I don't pick them up.
Yeah.
This is not something I intend to make a habit of. This is
You're too in love with
You've seen how much Dragon Quest I've played in the last week. Imagine I was playing fucking Final Fantasy 14.
This year for me has very much been defined by me trying to play more old stuff, replaying some games, and also playing stuff that's outside of my comfort zone. That's why I'm playing Ace Combat. That's why I'm trying Final Fantasy 14. I've finished 20 games so far this year. Only 9 of them came out this year because I'm spending so much time trying to replay some old stuff, and all that stuff is I'm really enjoying my time this year.
Remember Faust?
Yes, I remember Faust.
Remember
He's right
Grey
there.
Fox?
They're both very active in the Final Fantasy 14 channel on Discord. Anyways, that's all I'm going to say today because I'll probably bring it up again once I've gotten a little further, had a chance to play with some other folks.
Remember Jaeger?
First of all, you made that joke the other day about Jaeger. That's why I haven't seen him. Jaeger started yesterday.
That's not true, dude.
Well, no, he had a character from a long time ago, and he picked it back up when I started playing it, and now he's already leveled more than I am because
this game's on PS4 as well, right?
Yeah, I'm playing on PC.
Is it cross-platform?
I don't think so, but maybe someone in chat can answer that for you. I'm playing on PC. Are you playing on? Wait, you're playing on PC.
I'm playing on PC.
Okay. All right.
Biohunter.
And apparently it is cross-platform, so I can make my roommate play it too.
Nice. Shit. Yes. Get it. This is great. Anyway, sorry. I'll bring it up again in a future show when I have more to say about it. Now, real quick, just a couple very brief news topics that we don't need to spend much time on.
Nope.
But I feel like we should probably mention the ninja thing.
I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't really care either. I've never watched this dude in my life.
Mixer, huh?
But this dude just signed a $900 million contract with Mixer.
Wait, is that really?
Yes. $900 million.
$900 million?
I mean, yes.
That's a lot.
That
is
they overpaid.
Yes.
What the fuck?
Yes. All right, I think we've covered this topic. Moving on.
$900 million.
Mixer,
No.
if you want to hit me up, I'll do it for like half.
That's not. That's not the only news.
I'll
dude.
do it for
There's
a
that.
tenth.
There's that Fortnite World Tournament, and I heard Ninja sucked.
He came in fifth.
No, he didn't. Not even close. I don't think.
Okay.
Fifth
it's
to last.
All these
They're not
fucking
pa-
all
they're
these
not pa-
fucking kids dominate.
They're not paying him for his skills. They're paying him because he is the most. He is his
but-
notoriety. He is the most recognizable face. He is one of the most popular streamers.
I know, but
in the
I'm
world,
saying
so of
the
course.
reason he got popular also is because he was really good at Fortnite.
But
I mean,
at some
he's
point,
not like a variety streamer.
But at
or
some
something.
point, I feel like
the
that
dude
ceases
is
to
good
matter.
at his craft. or
Bro
whatever.
drops tilted every time.
Yeah,
I already
game-
feel grosser talking. Let's move on to the next news
You
topic.
play the same game for 10 hours a day. Why do you feel gross?
I don't like this. That
It's
whole
weird.
that whole part of
Well,
the
you told me
culture, I
what-
just
wait,
not a big fan
So I
of.
guess the significant part to us is that he's the biggest Twitch channel, and now he's
Now he's on Mixer,
Gone.
exclusively on Mixer. Yes.
So we're number 1 now?
yes.
We're moving up the ladder, taking him out.
we moved up a rung, I guess.
Look out,
Next
this guy's toast.
next news topic.
You saw his press conference?
I saw that he did one. That's all
I
I
haven't
could
seen
say.
any.
It wasn't real. It was like a skit or
I
whatever.
know.
Look
right?
out.
But like,
Uh,
kind of his thing
there's
was
another
like
Twitch streamer.
he sort of like took this position as like, and I guess I saw him on, was it on Twitter or something, where it's like, man, fucking, remember how it used to be on Twitch, that sort of thing. It's like, come the fuck on, $900 million, shut the fuck up, okay?
I can tell you, I remember what it was used to be like
Yeah,
on
he
Twitch.
was like, I'm getting back to my streaming roots
Yeah,
with $900 million.
I'm gonna play Fatal Frame.
Oh my god.
Shut up.
Ashif
How
in
old is
chat.
Ninja?
Yes, I did see that Limited
Don't
Run
give a
Games is
fuck.
doing the Turok 1 and 2 thing on August 16th. I didn't want to bring it up. I didn't want to tell anybody. I didn't want to tweet about it because I don't want anybody else to get in there. I'm worried I'm not going to get a copy. It's limited, man. It's fucking
It
limited.
wasn't $900 million.
It was 900 million.
How much did Star Wars sell for? Like two billion?
It was a couple billion. Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
He's half.
Star Wars?
He's.
I think it was like 4 billion.
No, I think it was like 2 billion.
I think
The
it was
fact
like
that he
2.
even is on the same, like he's a blip on the radar as far as coming within range of the.
Star Wars?
For sure.
Oh my god.
The cultural
What
juggernaut.
is this? This doesn't even make sense.
Okay.
Yeah, Fortnite is
It
weird.
can't be that
Do you think in
valuable.
like 10 years everyone's going to be like, God, do you guys remember Fortnite? We got a little crazy with that one, didn't we?
Next news topic. NPD numbers came out. They released a list of the top 10 selling horror games of all time. The list is largely made up of Resident Evil games. There are a few Dying Light's in the top 3.
Yeah, I'm
Dying
actually
Light?
surprised you put it as a news topic.
Dying Light is in
I
the
know
top 3?
Well, so I'm curious as to what they like left off. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like, does like Left 4 Dead count as
Right.
horror? You know, that sort of thing.
Does Dying
but
Light?
I can tell you the top 3 were Resident Evil 5, Resident
Zombies.
Evil 4, and Dying Light.
Yeah,
But the bigger deal on this list, I think, was that Resident Evil 2 Remake was on the list. That game came out in February of this year, January. That was I think slotted number 7, and then Resident Evil 7 is on the list as well. And I think it just did it finally pull ahead of Resident Evil 6?
Yeah, it was.
Which is I think is a huge deal, because it
It
finally
definitely didn't start out that way.
it finally
It
crossed
had
that.
legs.
Yes, it had legs, and it crossed that threshold, which means it is now
So-
more successful than
So
6.
Brad, it's not 900 million. It's a 6-year contract for 932 million.
No.
Oh my god!
Sorry, I didn't specify
also,
the
if
time.
you Google Ninja Mixer, you get some different results from what I was thinking of.
But the crazy thing is,
Oh,
like,
the Ninja, yeah, the
The
blender.
Ninja brand blender.
Oh.
I
but
was
like,
like,
but like, what happens in 6 years when no one cares about Ninja and he's streaming for like 2,000 people? He's still getting, $300 million or whatever.
I'm
or
sure they've
200
worked something like a clause like that into his contract.
I mean, you sign a contract.
Yeah, but there are you can write contracts in such a way that you have ways out of contracts if certain things occur. That contracts are not binding. You always have to have a backdoor out of
But, like,
a contract.
It's such a
When there's
it's
that
such
much
a
money
hard move.
involved.
Like, I guess this move is like them trying to single-handedly. This is going to be the start of us overtaking Twitch.
yeah, this is the new Epic Game Store of
Yeah,
streaming.
This is an Epic Game Store move.
Well,
Yeah.
rest in peace, news topic for Resident Evil news topic. But
it's not a Resident Evil news topic.
all right, let's move on. Can we do some fucking viewer questions?
Yes, let's do it.
Let's do it, and then
First
we'll
of
do supporter
all-
spotlight after that.
First of all, Nicholas, we have a new patron,
Yes, we do.
and their name is Twig City.
Twig City.
Twig
I
City,
think they asked us
bitch.
a question this week too.
Twig City, bitch. All right, let's move on to some questions from our patrons.
Oh, thank you, Twig City, by the way. We really
thank
appreciate that. Also, I'll mention again, I mentioned at the top of the show, but we are changing the way Patreon works a little bit. We're focusing more on the number of patrons we get as opposed to how much money we're making total. So, but we're going to build our goals around improving the actual number of patrons we get. And when we hit 150, I think we still need 30 more new patrons. We will announce and get serious about doing our next Project M, which we're not going to give any specific details on right now, but 30 more patrons. 30 more patrons.
Yeah, I mean we
want to do it before the end of the
we
year.
had big conversations.
We
about
can tell them
Project
it's going to
M
be a Project M for Fortnite
today.
Yeah.
About doing one later this year, but we need 30 more patrons.
Sorry. Continue, Nolan.
All right. First question this week from Burnsy. 4-player podcast battle royale. Whose dad can beat up the other dads?
Whose dad can beat up? I mean,
well, Nick's dad's really old.
So was mine.
But he was in the military for many years.
Mine is too. It's got a lot of arthritis and a bad leg.
Maybe
My dad used to do. My dad used.
I don't want to see our
This guy
dads beat
over
up each
here.
other. I don't like this.
Dude, my dad has 2 fake knees.
Go for the knee.
No, I'm
Oh wait,
sorry.
that's the strongest part of him.
They're titanium.
Ding, ding.
I feel like my dad's kind of a softie. I mean, he used to do like a lot of weightlifting, but he's a softie. So.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah.
I mean, my dad swam in college. He played water polo.
Have you ever seen your dad fight?
So,
somebody?
like-
Hopefully not.
No,
I've never seen my dad fight anybody.
I've never.
I've seen him yell at people,
Yeah.
but not like throw a punch. I don't think he. I think his hand would break.
Real quick, I don't mean to go back to the ninja thing, but Gamerbeck has a really good point.
What?
You know, I just realized something about that makes the ninja thing worse. They couldn't keep Scalebound alive, but they can throw $932 million at Ninja.
Yeah, fucking assholes.
Wow. Sorry. Anyway, sorry. Back to
I mean, the kind of money they have means they shouldn't be canceling any fucking project. They let Crackdown
No
3
credit,
come out.
don't beat up our dads.
All right. Hopefully our dads never have an excuse to beat each other up.
All right, moving
Next
on. Next
question.
question from Umos. Best or funniest glitches you've seen in a game?
Ooh.
That's tough.
Remember the fucking Arno glitch where his face didn't load, but his eyes and his mouth? did?
Yes, that's true. Oh, well, I had the
And in- and in
Assassin's
Black-
Creed Black Flag where his he got stuck on his smile. So the whole cutscene, he just had this shit-eating grin on the whole fucking time.
That was like in our top 10 top 10 clips of the year.
That was
year.
pretty good.
I also think back to like Red Dead Redemption. Was it Donkey
We
Lady?
had this question recently. We said the same thing. I think.
I don't think we had this
We did?
recently.
Yeah, because I remember we brought up Donkey Lady
Well,
I
I mean,
don't
first of all,
remember
we've done
bringing up
600
donkey
plus
punching
shows. Someone
people.
has asked us this question before, but
within
you
the
know.
past 6 months.
609 shows. Nice.
I mentioned that one last week. If you go back and listen to last week's episode, I talked about Vampire just a little bit, and I mentioned the pane glass window, that's the clipping mask on the window broke, so like the entire screen was full of a giant window texture, which was
I
funny.
remember when we were playing. There's a couple of from Dying Light where we were playing online, and one of them when the guy opened like the sliding door of the train, his body was all fucked up, and he was like jacking the other guy off or something.
I remember
And there was
that.
one where me and Jaeger were playing, and he got stuck in like the air vents of some building or something.
I may have said the same thing last time we got this question, but the glitched swing set in GTA.
That's a
4.
good one.
Is that the one that like,
That's a
shoots
good
you
one.
off?
I
Yeah,
had
if
a
you
lot
hit
of
it
fun
just
with
right,
that.
the physics
Oh
like
man,
yeah,
any
yeah.
glitch where like ragdolling causes the model to just like fucking shoot up into
Yes.
the air.
Oh,
The Trials HD glitches.
Oh,
would
the
cause,
body
the
goes
dude
all
to
fucking-
spaghetti
Yeah.
everywhere. Oh yeah,
That's good. That's a good one. There's probably a couple more.
There's probably a whole shit ton of them in Fallout that we're
remember
just
when
not thinking about.
Trials was great?
Yes.
All right, let's move on.
Goddamn.
Next question from our newest patron, Twig City.
Twig
Twig City.
I'm a new supporter, so I'll be leaving all my elite questions for the coming weeks.
All right.
Fun fact, only a small percentage of humans have a specific wiring in their brain that makes it to where they sneeze after looking into bright lights the sun. Are you one of those people?
Yes.
Love you guys. And yes, I am.
I am.
am.
I've
I
never
think
tested it.
the only time that's ever
If
worked.
Brad, if you've never tested it, then you're not.
I think
It's one of
it's
those-
the only time that has ever worked for me is when I had to look up to do it, and because I looked up, and that's what made me sneeze.
I used to jokingly say that I was allergic to shopping, because every time I would get out of the car to go into like a store, I would sneeze 3 times before going into the building, and then 3 times coming out of the building.
Well, that's just
and I
weird.
didn't realize until later in life that it's the sensitivity to the
I do have
Like-
that. So
Because you're
there,
a sensitive little bitch.
Yeah.
could see. I don't want to go shopping, Mom. I want to stay home play Nintendo 64.
Sneeze.
I'm gonna sneeze.
I mean, that's
No,
not.
that's
I'm
exactly how it
allergic.
went.
That's not.
I'm gonna sneeze.
I want to play Beetle Adventure Racing.
I'm pretty sure he wanted to play Turok.
Yeah, Tara.
fuck you, Brad.
Just thinking of early shitty
Also,
64 games.
Also, not entirely inaccurate.
Jet Force Gemini.
That's a good game, you bitch. That's
all right,
a good
moving
game.
on. Next question from Crispy and Toasty.
Oh.
Each person look to the cast member to your left. This is always a problem because the leftmost person can't look at anybody.
That's funny. I just realized.
Well, when did I say this? Because I remember that happening. Caramel hurts my throat. did we have like a chatter right in
I don't
say
remember,
that?
maybe. And think about their personality and skills. What race and class combo would they be in D&D according to you?
Wait, who?
I feel this is
Wait,
weird. Somehow,
Very beginning of that question again. Who race class combo?
You're doing this for Nick. What based on their personality and skills, what race and class combo do you think they would be in D&D?
He'd be like a lame paladin.
fuck off.
Like specifically a lame one.
No. Nick,
Is that a subclass? Or?
No, Nick would be like.
Yeah, Oath of Lameness.
I could see him being like a wizard.
Wizards are cool. I'll take it.
See, the problem is you say that about Nick, Brad, but when I look at you, I think you would be a lame paladin.
I could see Nick being.
I honestly
sorcerer.
think given like if we were in a D&D universe, I think you would be super like what's the word I'm looking for? Not
Protective of my party?
lawful good.
No,
Like,
I would never
I'd
be
be lawful
lawful
neutral.
good.
I guess.
Lawful. He's not
Come
good.
on, man.
I'm supposed to do
I
mine for
invented to sneak into the press conference.
I'm supposed to do this.
Nolan would be a dwarf. Not because you're short, but because you're like hardy and you're very pragmatic. And
All right, someone give me a list of all the races
And you
here
drink.
first. We're talking about.
Nick
got
would be a
elves.
halfling.
We got.
Think about it.
There's humans, elves,
Halfling thief.
half-elves, halflings, gnomes, dwarves, tieflings.
Halfling,
What are
very
gnomes?
hairy, kind of short.
What are gnomes?
Yeah, like what makes a
Gnomes
gnome?
are like
Magical.
gnomes are the smallest, and they're like really intelligent and like magical. They make like really
Yeah.
good wizards. And
It's not a
and
gnome.
rogues.
It's a gnome.
So you'd be
A
more
gnome.
like a halfling, which leans more towards like thief.
I'm trying to think for Chris Davis here.
Halfling does.
He's to
lean
my
towards
left.
that.
Maybe a gnome.
What?
No,
Man.
is that very
I can see
intelligent?
that.
Very.
I can see that. You're a very techie kind of guy. You're like our
yeah.
tech guy. You're like
Yeah.
the smart one. I can see you,
You
being
know
like a gnome
you know
wizard.
all the names of all the airplanes. I don't know.
Dude, that's great. Gnome wizards are
I mean,
the best.
how
man.
boring would it be if I said he'd be a human? He'd be Chris Davis.
He wouldn't be-
He'd be Chris Dabbis.
Halfling wizard.
He's an air.
He'd be a human dabber.
I'm a half orc. Come on.
Oh, half orc. I forgot half orc. A half orc fighter.
I kind of want to answer for.
Which is really broad. Could be anything.
All right,
I had an answer for Crispy a
Too
second
long.
ago.
We
and
have
I
so many
lost
more
it.
questions.
He's
Yeah,
the bard.
he-
He's the bard.
I
He
was gonna
sings
say
all the
bard.
time.
I was gonna say Bard. We're on the same page.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think
Alright.
you'd be like a dwarf ranger or some shit. Yeah.
I can dig it.
All right, next question.
Next question
Because
from
you're very like stout.
Yeah.
cool from K and Cito. Question for Brad, if present. What would you want from a Tekken Season 3?
This
If
motherfucker.
anything,
I heard him got thanked on.
could
on
be anything,
RS's
not just
stream.
characters.
I heard this fucker got thanked on another stream I was watching, which fine, it was sort of Tekken related. Sorry, repeat the question.
No.
Sorry, I wasn't listening. Repeat the question.
If I was a Tekken character,
No.
No, what the fuck?
What would
What
you
would
want
you-
from a Tekken Season 3?
really, I want the next Tekken. I was thinking about this. I even gave a little bit of an answer on Twitter. Jager brought it up. I want fucking Kiryu Kazuma, like straight up number 1. Kiryu Kazuma.
Okay,
Cool.
noted.
Lot of people have been wanting.
I'm
in
writing
Tekken.
it down.
Sure. Makes sense.
You know, because Tekken's more brawlers. It's not like a weapon fighter.
Yeah.
Not like a ton of projectiles, even though
Yeah.
these days, right?
Yeah.
So much like that, I want Tifa. Tifa, she's a brawler.
Mhm.
She'd be perfect
From
for
Final
Tekken.
Fantasy?
From Final Fantasy,
No.
yeah, 7. What other Tifa
I don't
do you
fucking know.
Tifa from Dragon Quest.
Fuck you guys.
Also, it's unlikely because it's Capcom, but Gene from God Hand would be perfect for Tekken. He's a brawler as well, and he's got a lot of crazy, silly moves. Be perfect. And then if we were gonna do two more like classic characters from old Tekken games, I would like to see Ganryu come back. He's like the E Honda like fighter. He's a sumo, and probably Kunimitsu. She's another cool ninja.
Sure.
A lot more ninja-y than even Yoshimitsu.
I concur with all these answers, Brad. Thank you.
Yeah.
You know what? I figured it out. I cracked the code. I'm sorry.
Okay, here it comes.
Here it comes. I'm gonna stick with Gnome Wizard
Oh
for
my
you. I
god,
think
he's
it's
still
perfect.
thinking about D&D. I
Gnome
knew
Wizard
it.
for you. I'm gonna say Dwarf Cleric for you because that's just like
You gotta
one of
specify
the best, most
for the
like,
audio. You gotta specify who you're
Oh,
pointing
Nolan.
Can be a druid? Can be a druid?
Dwarf cleric. You could be a drude. You could be a
Half-orc druid?
Half-orc druid.
Probably not very good druid, but
Druids are fucking crazy though.
I know, but
Druids.
a half-orc druid, not the
Why
race
not?
I would pick.
I mean, you can do anything you want. It may not be
Werebear.
the min maxi, but I think that would be you. Or
Werebear.
or maybe
Do me.
like a half orc
Werebear.
like monk or something like that.
Werebear.
Werebear. Sure, do a
Do
werebear.
me.
I think you would be a half elf warlock.
That sounds
Definitely
dope
wizard,
as shit.
Right, though, right? Definitely
Well,
magical.
Yeah, a warlock though, because that's like the fucking like emo kid who listens to metal. What the
Also-
fuck, dude?
Also,
Like in the coolest way. Like your love of metal manifests as like dark magic.
All right, I'll take it.
He's
I'll
a
take it.
halfling.
Fuck it, I'll take it.
I think he's like half elf. I think
you like a night stalker, maybe?
Yeah, I mean you could.
I'm
do
a
that
very
kind of stuff.
happy, cheery person.
maybe like a dwarf, maybe
I'm
like a
not
half orc
Vampire.
rogue.
Vampire.
A Well, I mean that's not a class. But
Yeah.
Well,
you
yeah,
get
but-
vampirism.
Well, yeah, sure.
You
What
could-
about Ed and Carlos?
Carlos-
A vampiric
Guys,
half-
we have other
Carlos
questions.
would be.
Carlos is a barbarian.
Ed's the paladin.
Ed's probably.
I feel like Ed would be a trustworthy
Ed's
paladin.
probably like a paladin or a monk or something like that.
Or like Ed's the
I
paladin.
don't know. I think he could
like,
be a monk.
like the secret, like potential to become like a dark paladin.
Like a blackguard.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, I think.
mostly because we don't. Ed's still a little mysterious to us.
Dude,
Like,
if you
even
were-
though he moved to our
If you were a
town, we still
druid, we
barely
would
know
all
anything
be
about-
magic users. That's crazy. So that's pretty cool. I think. Not bad. Although I don't know. Maybe.
Chris Davis would be the healer.
5e fighters have like some really neat options. Well, no, he'd be a wizard. He'd be like the
All right,
tech guy.
come on.
He would
Next
be the
question.
healer.
Next question, Nolan.
Because Nolan's got a lot of like expertise, and I think Nolan's got like the widest base of knowledge.
You're still talking about D&D.
Yeah.
This
for
question
sure.
is still from
I'm
KMC
rethinking about it on
Toe.
the ride home.
Have you ever looked into a video game or other form of media because you stumbled upon some interesting art of it?
Oh,
If so,
yeah.
what
Oh,
was it?
yeah.
For example, I didn't know what the Marvel character Nova was until I saw fan art of the character.
Oh, you mean Marvel's Green Lantern? Yeah, that's right. I went there. I'm sorry.
You know what? I'm the kind of
was cool.
person. I am the kind of person who shops for a lot of things based on like label and stuff when I don't know a lot about the actual product itself. Like I'll be honest, I don't know much about wine, but when I'm buying wine, label goes a long way. So like it's kind of the same way. Like sometimes I see like art of something on Twitter or like a screenshot or like a GIF or something of a game, and I'm just like, I don't know what this is, but it looks cool as shit, and that's what triggers me to go look at a trailer. I can't think of a specific example. Like
Final Fantasy. Like anything Final Fantasy I've ever been like, I want to try that, has come from like seeing the art, not like the game. And then a lot of times I play the game and I'm like, I don't know.
You know what did it for Ace Combat for me? For it, what tipped me over the edge for Ace Combat? I saw one of the opening cutscenes because it looked so unlike what I was expecting the game to look like, and I was like, this looks like it actually has like characters and story, and like the way they do this weird cross between like photorealistic backgrounds with like anime characters over the front of it. Like I literally can't tell. Like it's impressive, and I was like, that's kind of what pushed me over the edge and made me try.
What about
Ace
people
Combat
that
7.
try Left Alive because of what's the artist's name from Kojima's games?
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I forget. But yes, I know what you're talking about.
I've got 2 more answers.
By the way, that cover for Death Stranding, holy shit, that's bad.
I haven't seen it.
It's just a big face. It's Norman Reedus' face.
Oh my god, it's tragic.
Maybe they'll have a
Yoji Shinkawa.
maybe they'll have a flip cover.
Flip cover, hopefully.
I've
It's
got
just
2
the
more
naked
answers.
little baby in the jar.
I've got 2 more answers. Both of them are tabletop RPGs.
Of course.
Tales from the Loop and Lancer. Look both of those up. The art associated with them, especially for Tales from the Loop, is fucking incredible.
Cool.
Shit, what was that game called? It's on the tip of my tongue. Hold on.
Sorry, I just saw it. Now we're all laughing at the same thing, I think, right?
Krita.
We're laughing at Krita? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Krita made a yaoi joke.
What was the name of that game? Magna Carta.
Oh yeah. I'll be honest. You're joking, kind of. I think, but
A little.
I worked at GameStop when that game came out, and
So
all
I worked at Game Crazy when that game came out.
All I had, I saw I was literally working that morning, and I was opening the distro in the morning. And I was taking shit out, and I was like, "What the fuck is this? Look at
a
those
game
movies!"
I want to play.
And I bought it that day. Terrible game.
Terrible.
Terrible. So bad.
Don't care for it.
All right, moving
Did
on.
not have the
If
money.
anyone hasn't seen it, maybe look it
I
up.
heard Magna Carta 2 is like kind of like a hidden gem. On,
Really?
Like the 360.
I didn't know they made a sequel.
Yeah.
All right, next question.
Crispy's looking it up right now.
Oh, Magna Carta.
Zero Skies asks, I'm currently playing as the Blue Lion's house in Fire Emblem.
Lame.
What would be your
Cops.
Fire Emblem house name if you were to create one, and why should I join you?
Oh god, these are the kinds of questions you
That's
can't.
2. But dang.
I don't think I'm creative enough to name.
Yeah.
What are the names of the houses?
Oh,
Golden Deer, Blue Lions, Black Eagles. It's not that creative.
Purple Parrots. That's what I would be.
Shotgun green. I want green. Green.
Wait,
green.
I'm immediately
No,
trying.
green.
I'm immediately trying to think of Legends of the Hidden Temple,
Yeah.
like right now.
Purple Parrots.
Yeah,
Called
the blue barracudas.
Blue, yeah.
Wait,
Orange
what-
monkeys.
Green.
Okay, those were all Legends of the.
Yeah,
Okay,
those are all.
that's funny that our brains all went to the exact same place.
Oh,
course.
green bears. How about them bears?
The
The
bears.
burnt sienna bears.
The bear.
The Bears, Jesus Christ.
I would be the chartreuse armadillo.
It would be some shade of blue and fucking.
The azure armadillos.
You gotta. It would be some kind of.
The cerulean lobsters.
The cerulean snow owls.
Oh.
Yeah, fuck all of you. It's just like pick your
Someone
favorite
likes
color.
Harry Potter.
Pick your favorite color. Pick your favorite animal. Fuck it.
Yeah,
Well, don't fuck
I'd
it.
be
You
the Red
mixed-
Rockets with Manti on
Red
the flag.
God damn it.
This just got weird.
Next question.
And just hides.
I can't tell you why I would-
Mantis
you
in the
sh-
corner. Like,
The
yeah.
some technology says the beige badgers.
Beige bear.
All right. Next question from Don Dolan.
Don Dolan.
What's the next piece of hardware, controllers, mouse, tablets, phones, you are really itching to be done with and replace?
Ooh.
You mean like in general or like a specific?
I think specific. Like
I mean,
something that you
Nintendo
have.
fully gets away from this shit, and I think the Switch Lite is a step in that right direction. But all the little Joy-Con motion control bullshit just leads to like bad controller designs. And I
But I think he's actually
Like, this
specifically.
doesn't-
I think he's saying, what is a specific device you are ready to retire and replace?
Oh,
Yeah, that you are really like.
Like
Yeah,
my
I need
first
a
thought
new-
jumps to the Xbox One because it goes largely untouched, and I would love to have an excuse to play an Xbox again. So I'm hoping they deliver on this next console.
I want a new graphics card for my computer because mine
That's a
is
good one.
what do you have?
scraping the bottom. It's like a 650 or something.
What
Yeah.
really?
It's scraping.
Damn,
Maybe a 700. I don't remember. But I've had it for years.
hit me up.
I don't think
Hit me up, Crispy.
Are you sure? I thought you had swapped that out at some point.
No, I swapped out the motherboard and the processor, the power supply. I've swapped everything but the graphics card.
If you're going to use it to stream, talk to me.
I doubt it's a 650, but I know what you're getting.
I'm gonna look it up when I get home just to see the look on your dumb face.
I mean, I have like a 760
dude, it's
just sitting in my closet.
yeah, it's like an 8-year-old card. I got
Do
it
you-
in like 2012.
Do you want to take it home with you? I mean, it's not
Yeah.
that big of an upgrade,
Sure.
but a little. It's literally just. I think it should be compatible. I think we can double check.
I've
the
had the same
compatibility.
graphics card for probably about 7 years.
Damn. We should take care of that, one way or the other.
I can't think of anything off the top of my
using a
head.
keyboard.
The only thing I can think of is the central unit in my car, my dashboard thing. I've been wanting to upgrade that because it's like really shitty. And when I was in Vegas, our rental car had CarPlay, and it was so fucking nice.
I'm getting to the point where I want to get a new car.
My car's
Mostly because I really want a backup camera. I don't need one,
fine.
but
Well,
it's
you
to
know,
the point where
you don't
everybody
need a
has
new car
backup
for
cameras.
that. You can just get a backup camera and install it in your car.
Well, maybe that's not a bad option.
It'll be standard in 2 years.
It's already standard.
The thing is,
in
like,
almost all cars.
I don't have a car payment, and I'm really enjoying that. Maybe I should just get an aftermarket one and install that.
Yeah.
Fuck.
I'll-
Why did I think of that?
Yeah.
I'm a dum-dum.
That's fine.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's plenty of compatible units for your car where you can even upgrade
But here's the thing.
unit.
I don't need one.
No one needs one.
I just want it because it's a cool
Well,
thing to
there's
have.
people with like small children and homes. You know, you don't want to.
I guess so.
I parallel park like a boss. I don't even need one. But I
all
feel
right.
like it'd be fun to
Let's
have.
move
more
on.
for
Next
safety.
question from Illumination. It's the zombie apocalypse. What is the worst song to play while killing zombies?
The worst song?
It's a small world.
Something cliche.
Well,
Like something that's like a little too... Like,
on the nose.
Yeah, like, come on. Really? Can't think of what that would
Final countdown.
I'm thinking like...
Something from Rob Zombie.
Man, if this was the best song, it'd be easy. There's so many good ones.
It's like...
The worst song, though, that's tough.
Like getting your zombie gear together, set to Back in Black. And it's just like, come on, that's fucking hack. Like...
Gangster's Paradise.
A Bruce Willis movie did that legitimately, like, earlier this year or last year, and it was like dumb.
Zombies ate my neighbors.
Not ironic at all.
I can't think of anything.
Ooh.
Monster Mash.
Monster Mash, yeah?
That's funny.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Cool.
All Star.
I mean, that would be a
Smash
delightful
Mouth
song.
All-Star. Yeah.
Somebody.
Oh my god, don't start it.
All right, so
Guys,
let's-
I am not even kidding you. I was driving down south the other day, and I was like, hey, Robin, you want a DJ? I don't know what I want to listen to right now. So I gave her my phone. I have Apple Music on here. She busted out. She's like, all right. Smash Mouth.
Nice.
All the way down to South Austin.
That sounds like a
Smash
delightful
Mouth.
drive.
And I was, you know what? I was convinced that every Smash Mouth song I've ever heard was on the Shrek soundtrack. Apparently that is not the case.
All right, let's move on to some questions from our supporters on Twitch.
Yes.
First question this week from Chai. What is the most irrational hate you have for a game?
Resident
Have
Evil
you
6.
ever had cartoon hate something that's very popular or even critically acclaimed, like Chris Davis and Unraveled?
I'm gonna easily
be walking on the sun.
Resident Evil 6 for me. Like I feel like I should just be like I feel
You're the bard.
God damn it, guys. I feel like I should just be kind of happy with knowing that, like, okay, I just don't like Resident Evil 6, but I have an unnatural hatred for that game.
You and everyone else, though. I'd say a better one for you is
Onimusha?
Onimusha, Dawn
Yeah.
of Dreams.
But does that game? Who likes that game? That game's fucking.
But
stupid.
it is not despised in the same way like Resident Evil 6 is.
I guess you're right.
Yeah.
Onimusha, Dawn of Dreams is the more.
Maybe it is.
Is the
but-
better answer,
But
probably.
I
hate that game.
It's not like super popular, so it's like weird that
No.
you have such a vendetta against it.
Yeah.
Like, what about like Dino Crisis?
It
3? But
fucking
see, that
killed the
deserves it.
series.
The more I think about it,
But
the
not
more...
like Dino Crisis 3 killed that series.
I played through Dino Crisis 3 and enjoyed myself.
What?
Like, I mean, I didn't love it.
Dino Crisis 3 is a worse game than Onimusha
No.
Dawn of Dreams.
No.
Fucking yes.
No.
You enjoy Dino Crisis 3?
More than Onimusha
You're
4.
forgetting.
What is wrong with you?
Maybe I'm wrong,
You broken person.
but I'm not.
So
Irrational
my,
hatred. I mean, that's a lot of things.
the more I
man.
think about it, the more I just
Persona?
like really fucking hate Detroit.
Oh,
Become Human. The more like
my number 10 game of the year last
like
year.
I like that game.
don't like that game on a core philosophical level.
I think a lot of people would say that about most of David Cage's games.
Well, yeah.
I
it's
think
possible.
Detroit is David Cage's best game.
In terms,
I just wanted to make Hank Senpai like me.
Probably Heavy Rain for me.
I mean, I will say that the Connor mission,
Not,
like the Connor storyline,
Maybe
Souls?
Indigo
Yes,
Prophecy.
but
I've never
Beyond
played
Two
Beyond
even
Souls.
people who
Souls.
like that game, I think, feel that way. So.
I don't know. I guess for me it would be like Call of Duty.
Unnatural hatred
I've
for Call of
always
Duty.
like just hate I hate what they like represent. You know what I'm saying?
In gaming culture or just
yeah. I've only one I've ever played is Modern Warfare 2. But like
You've never played Modern Warfare, like the original Modern Warfare?
Mm-mm.
Like that 4-hour
And I never
campaign. That 4-hour campaign is like something I feel is like a kind
There
of
are
a must play.
1,000 games
I mean,
I will
you-
play before I
you
play
missed the-
Modern Warfare.
All right, see that is an irrational hatred right there. Like I don't care if he ever touched anything other, but if I feel like you have to play Modern Warfare.
Why? There's so many better games.
But like Modern Warfare is like that's the single player campaign for Modern Warfare is one of the best shooter campaigns I've ever played.
Okay.
All right.
Better than
No,
Singularity?
I mean that's a great answer. That is a great answer to this question.
I
That
know,
is an
I'm really good at
irrational
this.
hatred of a game that is otherwise really...
Anybody have anything else before we move on? We still got more questions.
Okay, keep
We have
going.
8 minutes
More
to finish
questions.
the show.
Yes. Quick.
Thorax.
Lightning round.
What is the strangest rule you had to follow at your place of work?
Don't
take your shirt off.
At my place of work, I mean, I think given the nature of what I do and like how separate I am from like the people that the people that are the reason the rule exists, like I have no contact with them at all. I do find it kind of weird that I'm apparently not allowed to wear jeans to work.
What? Really?
Yeah.
So
I have no-
My company used to be like that, but then
Not even like on Friday?
It's like working in the back room where no one ever sees you and being told you have to
Oh,
you would have
dude,
to
that sucks.
follow the same dress code as like everyone who's like
See, at
front-
my job, you could wear pajamas to work.
Oh!
No one would care.
That's
People
nice.
do.
I'm insanely jealous of that. But the great thing is, well, you know, I'm not gonna.
There's a lot of weird rules and stuff at my current job that are in place because people who don't know what they're doing, or it's very.
I found a good
I can't
loophole
think
for
of
my
anything.
problem though.
don't wear pants.
No, I wear This is what I wore to work today.
Wear
Okay,
pants.
yeah,
Black jeans,
yeah.
jeans, and gray jeans look just
What
like
about
khaki
some like
pants.
what about some almost like corduroy, like kind of that color?
Does
Like
somebody come by and like
As
touch
long
it
as they
every
don't
day
look
to
like-
make sure
Check.
it's not
Yeah.
denim?
As long as they don't
As long
look
as
like
it's not
denim
denim.
blue jeans,
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
nobody cares.
what about
apparently.
denim cutoffs?
That's really stupid.
Not jeans.
True. True.
All right. Final question this week from Blably. Outside of Nick's Resident Evil Series 1, what series runs has the crew completed in the past?
Like on
Well,
stream?
what series runs have we started?
I mean, I've never
You're talking
done.
about like a replay.
That's a more interesting question.
I've run
Uncharted?
through a lot of series over the course of like my life.
I redid the Uncharted series.
I did one. Was it Batman? Did I do all the Batman games at
Maybe.
one point?
Thing is, Robin's playing Arkham Asylum right now, and it's kind of making me want to do a series run of that series because I haven't played it in a while.
Assassin's Creed. I did
was
one a while back.
doing,
You did an Assassin's Creed series run?
I did one. I wasn't like
I think I
a
skipped
series
3.
run, but I was doing
That's the
a
one I
lot
want to
of.
play right now.
I was doing Metroidvanias for a while.
Ooh,
Like I just went from like Symphony of the Night to like Super Metroid. Well, Super
Oh,
Metroid was probably
I did my Silent Hill series run.
yeah, you did. I'm not really big on series runs, just
What about Metal
because
Gear?
I've done that. Yes, definitely multiple times.
I don't replay games that often.
See, that's what I'm
So,
trying to do
yeah.
more of this year, and it's really nice.
because I did that before 5 came out,
Yeah.
and then I midnight stream or 24-hour streamed 5.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's all the questions from patrons and our supporters on Twitch. Like Nick had mentioned earlier, every week we post a thread on patreon.com/4player, or as long as you are donate at least $1,
$1.
you can ask us any question you like. And if you are a supporter on Twitch, we have a supporter channel in our Discord at discord.gg/4player, where you can ask us questions before the show.
Yep. All right, I'm gonna do this really quick. Supporter spotlight. Our supporter this week is Tack. I think he's technology. I think in the
Technology,
chat.
yeah.
So his name is Tyler, and he did not tell me where he's from.
Boo!
Boo! That's okay. Maybe he can tell us in chat. But let's see. Top 5 games of all time. By the way, if you're a supporter on Patreon, I want to say at the $3 tier or higher, you can
Tax
go.
from
He's from
Alabama.
Alabama.
Ew.
If you're a supporter,
Alabama. Roll
if you're
Tide.
If you're a supporter of the $3 tier or higher, you can go into the supporters channel in Discord where you can post questions as well. And there is a pinned message there with a link to a Google form with some questions on it. You can put your answers in there. I'm going to pick one at random and read your responses each week. So, top 5 games of all time. I'm going to do this. I'm going to go through these. His number 5 game. I don't know if these are ordered, but he says Final Fantasy. You want to guess? Guess.
Tactics.
8.
You're all wrong.
6.
You're all wrong. 7.
Damn it.
My first and favorite RPG experience taught me to say shit at 5 years old before I knew it was a curse. That's pretty good. Nice.
Barrett. He has
Quite the legacy.
yeah.
I didn't even realize they cursed in that game.
Barrett curses like a
I thought they censored it. Though, didn't
sailor.
they?
Like a
Also, so
swearing
does
sailor.
Sid.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, you're right. I
Oh,
forgot
he
about
kinda
that.
is a sailor.
Number 4,
Sky sailor.
Bastion.
Cloud sailor.
Bastion. Fantastic music, fun combat, and some of the best damn narration in video games rolled up into a package that made me really appreciate indie games' potential.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a pretty damn good summary
No,
of Bastion.
that's true.
It's
Yeah.
a fantastic game. I really want to go back and finish Transistor. That game is. I got like halfway through that before I put it down.
Yeah.
Legend of Zelda. Guess.
Oh,
guess.
Ocarina of Time.
Wrong.
Hold
Wind
on. So if
Waker.
he said, I'm
Majora's Mask.
I'm gonna go with Link to the Past.
Wind Waker.
No one got it.
Nice.
Link to the Past. Probably the cause of my love of open world games today. Likely going to be a textbook example of interesting game worlds until the end of time. I can't fault that. That is true. That is a fantastic game. Fallout. Fallout New Vegas. Yeah.
Got it.
I played
Boom.
1,200 hours on one character, and I still find it difficult to explain why I love this game. Numbers talk, though. It gave me a crush on Cass, a fictional woman over twice my age. Okay. You can have a crush on... that game is known for having particularly ugly characters, right?
Okay, but good writing and voice acting. You're saying
come
you can
on,
only
Nick.
fall in love with a character model?
Beauty's
or
more
crush
than
on a
skin
character
deep,
model?
Nick. Jeez.
I mean, what's your problem?
Well, you make me the villain here. I'm sorry. I don't know. I just I feel like I think of my time with Fallout New Vegas, and I'm like, I don't know how. It's just it's an oddity for me. Jesus Christ! Forget I said anything. I hate you all. And his number 1 game is Ghost Recon Advanced Warfighter 2. Gra 2.
Question mark?
You've never
No, I
crushed on
added
a
the question
voice
mark.
actor? I've crushed on a voice actor.
Technology in chat says, look, man, I've been attracted to sprites, but my bar is not high. Fair enough. That is a better argument.
I mean, I'm more of a 7-Up person, but to each their own.
Jeez, I like Fresca. I've loved my shooty games since I was a youngster, but before Gra 2 entered my life, they were always just mindless action. This one made me appreciate those moments when a well thought out plan goes off without a hitch. I understand that. I feel like I kind of felt that way about Rainbow Six back in the day, and also to an extent. Well, I was going to say to an extent, Modern Warfare, just to loop back into that conversation.
Sure, of course.
But that campaign does a really good job of making you feel like you get a feel for
I'll
the
never
intricacies of combat, but it's all scripted. But still very good. And honorable mention, if it's allowed, Terraria?
Terraria. I played a bit of that game.
It's 8 years old and has been receiving free, very hefty content updates since release. For a $10 side-scrolling action-adventure game, it's provided 800 plus hours
It's a pretty good game,
of
man.
enjoyment. Thank you. That's Tax Top 5. And one more quick one I'm going to read is, we ask, what is a game that you feel has defined the current console generation and why? He says The Witcher 3. It might not be the best-selling game of this generation, but I think it shows that even in an era of dubious business practices in this industry, AAA developers can still create polished, beautiful single-player experiences. Yep, couldn't say it better myself. And that game is, it may not be the best-selling game of the generation, but it's probably up there, right?
It's pretty good.
It's a big fucking game, like a big it's a big success story of this generation for sure. So yes, thank you, Tack, for your submissions. We may get back to you. We'll circle back around if we eventually get through everybody, and I'll read more of your responses, but we appreciate your taking the time to fill out the questionnaire. And now, we're going to wrap up the show with the 4-player minute. You ready? Lightning round, guys.
Five
Here
Nights at Freddy's is a
go.
horror game.
Hype, sweat, thank you, fuck you, Brad,
Fuck
go.
you. Fuck you.
I'm sure Five Nights at Freddy's sold more than any Resident Evil game.
I'm sorry, he said good game.
Damn. I was thinking about those horror games.
I got you.
So my hype is for the end of August because there are 3 to 4 games that I'm excited about playing. Control, Astral Chain,
Shit.
Man of Medan. It
comes out the same day as
Bam
never mind.
Lamb.
and potentially Blair Witch. Did you see the new trailer?
Yes.
The new
It is a
trailer?
damn
There's
shame
new
that's not
trailer?
Parts of
VR.
that trailer look stupid. Parts of it look cool.
It is a damn shame that
It could
game
be
is not
good. I really
VR.
like the
Dude,
Blair Witch
I
Project.
don't know why, but I went down this Blair Witch rabbit hole the other day with
There's
watching the
no
movie.
rabbit hole.
There is. It's kind of crazy.
But
There's a little bit of a rabbit
You're such a
hole.
lore guy.
It's kind of cool. It's kind of cool.
But the
Not
mechanics
very.
of Blair Witch suck. Sorry.
the
Sweat-
mechanics of the movie.
My
I can't control this at all.
lore nerd.
This is bullshit.
And my sweat is, despite all this awesome shit coming out at the end of August, I'm playing Dragon Quest Builders 2, Fire Emblem, 3 Houses, Judgment I've been playing a lot more of. They're all like monsters of games, and I'm never going to finish any of them, much less all the shit I started earlier in the year, much less all this shit coming out. It's going to forever be my sweat. My thank you goes to so there were some Street Fighter Season 3, 4 leaks that were going to be announced at EVO, but they got leaked, so Capcom just said, yeah, sure. And showed the trailers. E Honda's coming back to Street Fighter. The reason that's exciting is because, and it's only a small potential, and it's very slim. Most people believe it'll never happen, but that was Mike Ross's main, who said, he's done with Street Fighter 5, and he just sort of left the scene. E Honda's back. There's a small chance. If there was ever going to be a chance, E Honda coming back is the one. So, thank you to Mike Ross. We owe him a lot. And my fuck you for this week goes to the Switch's battery life. Fire Emblem. I mean, I get like 2 hours with Fire Emblem. It fucking sucks. Maybe my Switch battery is getting worse, but like, it's bad. Fuck technology for not having better batteries. It's 2019, damn it. Shouldn't y'all have figured this shit out?
Yes. Yes, we should have. For
Yes.
sure. Nolan?
All right. My 4-player minutes starts now. My hype is for more Dragon Quest Builders 2.
I knew it.
I'm playing a lot of it, and I'm going to play a little bit as soon as y'all get the fuck out of here. A really good game. My sweat goes to Fire Emblem. Everything I've heard about it sounds really fucking good. It's just one more game on my pile of games I got to play. My thank you is going to go to the community. I've been like chatting with some in like the our health and fitness channel we have. I'm training for a half marathon, so I've been talking to them about that. Talking about when I run, like I got to run in. I don't want to do the math. 8.5 hours.
That's not too bad.
But like 6 of those are going to be spent playing Dragon Quest.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Yeah.
And then my fuck you goes to myself because now I kind of want to play Ace Combat 7 in VR specifically.
I will say this: the VR is only relocated to a specific mode.
I know. But like, I just think it'd be kind of fun. I mean, it's only on PS4 right now, correct?
Yeah.
I think it's
on PC too. Right?
VR is next year.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think it's next year when VR is going to support it on PC.
I got a PS3 HOTAS and it does not work on the PS4.
Oh. All right. Well, that's my 4-player minute.
Krispy?
All right, I'm doing a few hypes. My first hype. Too close.
That's
Closer.
you got it. You
Right
got
here?
it. You're good.
Here we go. My first hype is for
No Man's Sky?
MMORPGs.
No. What?
It's dangerous. It's dangerous.
MMORPGs.
He got you thinking about this shit?
No, he's
'Cause
already
I'm
playing
gonna-
14,
I
bro.
start playing 14.
Oh,
I just
no.
made a character
See, I'm
14.
not worried about
and then
Nick, I'm worried about you.
not only that, get this. While I was waiting for Final Fantasy to download, I was like, fuck, I'm bored. What I'm going to do? So guess what I did?
I know what you
Star
did.
Wars: The Old Republic.
I booted up Star Wars: The Old Republic and started playing that again. And you know what? The stories in that game are really fucking
Oh my
good.
God.
So I'm doing
Chris
that.
was someone we could actually
My
lose to
other
this
hype,
shit.
my other hype is for other non-MMO games I'm playing right now, like Fire Emblem
Are
3
you? How much of that
Houses
have you played?
and Dragon Quest Builders. And my third hype is for a few new tabletop books that I got in, including Mutants and Masterminds 3rd edition, which is fucking dope. And my fuck you for the week goes to the ineffable nature of time. Fuck you for slipping through our fingers like sands in an hourglass and not giving me enough time to do all this stuff that I want to do. I fucking hate you!
Crispy.
Actually, I do have another hype for upcoming games because I'm kind of interested in playing Stygian, and I'm really interested.
Oh, Carlos is super excited about that. It could be bad. But it could be good.
It could be. But if it's good, that'd be cool.
Crispy,
and
what
I'm
have you
really
thought about more
interested in
today?
playing Control.
What have you thought about more today? Final Fantasy 14 or Fire Emblem? Your brand new Switch
Or
game.
Star Wars. The Old
Okay,
Republic.
I will tell you this. I played more Fire Emblem today than I did Final Fantasy 14.
Today, probably for the podcast. How much have you played of Fire Emblem? How much have you played of MMOs in the past week?
Really only yesterday.
Okay.
All of yesterday.
But it was most of yesterday. It was most.
Oh, man. Crispy, what server are you on?
What about Bloodstained, man? You were the chosen one. You were
What do you want from me? What do you want from
You were new to Symphony of the Night, and you happened to just fall in love with it.
Dude, it's there. I'm gonna finish it. I just I'm doing things. I'm
Guys,
not dude. I stopped playing Destiny too, and
That's healthy choice. That's a healthy
well,
choice.
I'm going back to it when Shadowkeep comes out.
Lord.
All right.
Look,
Bitches, my turn.
Listen,
Nick.
I'm in
Y'all play together,
rotations.
Final Fantasy?
I'm in rotations, okay? I had
We're on
to
different
rotate
servers.
some things away and rotate new things in,
How are
okay?
you on
Or else I'm
different
gonna go fucking crazy and kill myself.
I can tell you why we're on different servers, Brad, because all the servers
Are full.
are full.
I made
But
a
we can
character.
still party up and play together.
What server? Data center? The same one that you're on.
We're in the
but
same data center. We're on
different
different
worlds,
servers.
yeah.
Different worlds, sorry. We're on the same server.
I think I'm on
different worlds.
Excalibur.
MMOs are not rotate games, but
Well, they are for me because I'm a
We're
fucking
all on
sick
Primal, which
bastard.
means that we can play with each other. We can play with any of the people that we have in our Discord, which is a lot of people.
Listen,
who
the
are playing.
problem with Final Fantasy 14 and Star Wars: The Old Republic is that both of them are really great dress-up games once you get into the end game, and that's all I want. That's all I want. I just want cool-looking,
in
pretty
MMO,
characters.
that's a great dress-up game.
Yeah, 2 of them.
You mean all MMOs?
All right,
Really good ones, Brad. Fuck you. Give me this. Give me this pillow.
let me take it home, guys.
Even my text-based MUD was all about in-game loot looking cool.
That's what I'm saying,
fucking
man.
crazy.
That's all
Let's-
I want.
Let's finish
That's
this.
the only reason why I play video games.
Let's finish this shit. All right, my 4-player minutes right now. I got 3 hypes and a sweat. My first hype, and this is strange, The Surge 2. We're starting to get lots of trailers for it.
That is
I saw it
weird.
at E3 last year, and I thought it looked pretty cool. But it's coming out in September, and it's starting to look pretty interesting. And it's another one of those games that seems like it's kind of in my my wheelhouse, but also maybe a little bit outside from it's more like super sci-fi subject matter, but it also plays a little more like a Dark Souls game with an emphasis on like dismembering the opponents and stuff, which seems really fucking cool. So I'm starting to get kind of excited for it. My second hype is for Fire Emblem 3 Houses, because I think after having this conversation tonight, I'm a little bit I'm kind of I feel like all the things I was excited about have been confirmed, and the things that I was a little worried about or I wasn't sure about have been clarified, and I feel much more comfortable in my decision
I think you
to
should
play
play
that
I think
game
you'd
now.
like it. I think you'd like it too, Nolan. But you're all into Dragon Quest.
Which
right
game?
now.
I'm sorry.
Fire Emblem.
No, I just said that's my fucking sweat because I want to play it.
He's
I
over.
know, I know.
He's
I'm
over
just
here
saying,
thinking
like-
about what's Brad thinking about. I don't know. My third hype this week goes to something totally not game related. I know. I'm sorry. Second time I brought this up in a 4-player minute, but fucking the new Slipknot album comes out next week, and I cannot fucking wait.
Oh, by the way,
Yeah, get up, come on, get down with the sickness.
I'm
you
glad-
That's
wanna
the
get
wrong
up.
band, my friend.
by the way, he chose Black Eagles. I chose Golden Deer. You should choose Blue Lions.
I would, because
You can't choose Black Eagles.
First of
Also-
all,
That's my house.
First of all-
this dude on the left is the class president, and he's like you. You know,
Pretty much.
got blonde hair.
Look at these cute boys.
wait, are you telling me the one you said is Black Eagles?
Black Eagles is the red.
Is the-
Why is it red?
Because
The other ones are color coordinated. Why is she
they
not wearing
all
the red
wear
color?
black.
Yeah, they wear
Oh my
black.
god. Okay. And my last one, my sweat. This kind of goes back to the question we had this week from our patron who asked about, is there anything you've ever bought purely based on like artwork and stuff? I'm getting kind of excited for Greedfall.
Oh,
I know.
no.
The spider
I know.
like?
Yes.
No, that's Griffland.
Spider.
That's
What's
Griffland.
Spider.
They're not.
There is something very, very, very something about the aesthetic that speaks to me on a deep level.
Those games are jank and kind of.
And I'm
ugly,
sure it's
though.
going to be jank, but I'm getting kind of excited for it. I don't know if I'm going to end up playing it or not.
Greedfall?
Yes. I saw it at E3 like 3 years in a row.
It's a Eurojank.
It's one of the. It's a
I was
focus
also
home.
making-
It's a focus home.
Oh, is this the monster one?
Yes.
Oh yeah, I remember seeing this in that fucking hot box they make you sit in.
Yes.
from the developers
and
of Mars
going like,
War
this
Logs.
is dumb.
Yeah.
Mars War Logs.
I'm getting fucking.
And,
I'm getting kind of.
Bound,
Fuck all you guys. I'm getting
Bound by
excited.
Flame.
Oh hey, but if you pre-order, you get the explorer's outfit, the rapier of the
They made the
alchemist,
Technomancer.
and a wild boar ivory
The
rifle.
Technomancer?
Hey, Krispy.
Is that the name of a game?
Krispy.
The Technomancer?
I know.
Oh, I'm aware.
All right. That's going to be it for the show tonight, guys. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for watching. If you're watching us here on Twitch, we do this every single Thursday night around 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. Thank you guys for being here and for taking time away from Dragon Quest to be here and talk about Dragon Quest.
Whatever.
And, of course, you can join us again next week. You can find us streaming on 4pp.tv throughout the week. And, yeah, we'll be back next week with another show. We'll be talking about... Are there any new releases for next week? I don't know.
Not that I can think about the top of my
Couple
head.
quick things I want to just... Reminder, check our Patreon if you want to support us on Patreon. Help us get to our next goal so we can do our next Project M. Also, the P.O. Box, which we didn't have for a while, is now available. You can find it on the website in the footer. If you want to send us any treats to try in the show, they have to be sealed. They have to be like packaged, sealed, like none of this weird shady shit. It's got to be... So, Skyliner sent us these lovely pickle candies that we tried during the break. They were not bad. Not bad. But if you're interested in sending us treats to try on the show, you can find the P.O. Box on the website. I haven't mentioned that in a while, but it's there. It's back. Check it out. And without further ado, also, if you do send us something, maybe let me know.
More ado.
Maybe pop into Discord, ping me, and let me know that you sent us something so I know that I should be looking out for something. But anyways, thank you guys so much for listening. We will catch you guys next week. Good night.
Bye.